Just stick it on somewhere. It'll all be fine. I do like that blue on you. Good morning. How are you? So I hope you had a lovely bank holiday. We were just saying it's broken a few of us, isn't it? Gemma had her anniversary. Congratulations, happy anniversary to her and Mr. Thomas, and which was fabulous. But I kind of feel like I've eaten and drunk to celebrate with them. Not my anniversary, not my reason to celebrate. But you know, I feel like I can. And then what else broke me? Oh, the fun park in the rain with the kids. I mean, it was fun for them. They got very excited. I was less than impressed at how wet and soggy the seats were on every single ride. And very, very grateful for heated seats when I got back in the car, I have to say. Fun times, right? Fun times. So, yeah. And then Susie looked at me this morning and went, "You look a bit tired, Tash. You need to look after yourself." I'm like, yeah, maybe eat less chocolate, drink less wine, and not binge watch Line of Duty. Don't tell me I'm not there yet. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I haven't even started.
Yeah, Susie hasn't even started. Have you never watched a single episode?
Not even. No, it's on my watch list.
Yeah, right, just binge it.
Yeah.
Just put a weekend aside and just binge it. Fabulous. Fabulous. Hey, talking of fabulous, did you all watch Lisa's interview yesterday? Because, you know, she's fabulous. She's really fabulous. I don't know if she's watching this morning. Oh, good morning, Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth, you're on countdown, aren't you, for your op? Very excited for you. Are you just going to hop and skip out of there? That's what I'm hoping for you. Morning, Colette. Morning, Rona. Love the... Oh, there you go. Love the interview. I'm going to put the... Oh, gosh.
Would you like me to clean them?
I've discovered that actually the bamboo face wipes are actually really, really good for cleaning your glasses. Are they? Yeah. Oh, just never wash them with fabric conditioner. I don't use fabric conditioner anyway, so I always forget to tell anyone that. There we go. I realised after yesterday's interview that I did look a bit like one of the two Ronnies in my other glasses, so I'm trying these ones today. It's fine.
Which look are you going for with them then?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'll see.
There's worse things to look like than the two Ronnies.
Are there?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Isn't one of them dead? It's not a good look.
No.
Who have we got? Myra. Hope you're enjoying your freedom. Is that is that because people can go out, or just because my kids have gone back to school? Long weekend. Love a long weekend. Have a long weekend. No. I have to say, the look on Freddie's face when we parked at the car park at work, so Warwick has a nice little park called St Nick's, and it's got a permanent fun park there with, I'm going to be honest, really dreadful rides, but the kids love it. They absolutely love it. And I figure they've been there for years, so they're not like the creaky ones that are being put up and taken down and might fall over. And every time we walk the dogs around the park, Emily says, "Mummy, it's my birthday party, it's my birthday party." Because of all the lights, the flashing lights and the saccharine smell of, what is it, candy floss. So I just thought, I'm just going to, now it's open, I would take them. Emily is convinced every day is her birthday. I think she's on to something. So over the bank holiday weekend, she's managed to ride my horse, ride her pony because it's her birthday. I've made her strawberry cupcakes because it's her birthday. Whereas we don't know if we've gone to the fun park because it's her birthday. The weekend before, she ended up with a 3-foot inflatable, what was it? A 3-foot inflatable unicorn balloon because it was her birthday. Birthday balloon. So who's the fool?
Yeah.
Who's the fool in this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leanne says, morning, weather is awful, heating is on. It's the perfect day for sewing. Perfect day. Diane DeWet, who has the perfect name for this weather. If you've not been blown away by the wind. Yeah, it wasn't the wee donkey. That's all I keep seeing everywhere is, was it Mary, Jesus and somebody else and the wee donkey?
Okay.
It makes no sense to me. I'm not there yet.
No.
I'm not there yet. All I've seen is the picture of like a constable end of a horse going through to like a kid's front half. And it's like if the writers for Line of Duty were artists. Bit harsh. Bit harsh. In other words, yeah. Oh, Linda reckons there's going to be another one.
Well, they have. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you see, they'd said this was the end. The end.
I heard they were on.
Hello, April. She said, yes, loved Lisa's interview. Well, she's close to you, isn't she? She's close to you than she is to us. Morning, just bought your Hampton tote bag. Do you have a demo, please? Heidi, yes. Yes. In fact, I demoed it on Hochanda on Thursday. I don't know how long their catch-up shows go for. And I demoed it when we very first had her fabrics in. And I'm sure that PT will find that for you and post it underneath for you. Morning, Jojo, how are you? And Anna, good morning. Sunny but cold in Bodmin. Yeah, now you see, this is what I could never understand, Anna. When we lived in Cornwall and it rained like 90% of the time, and it had some of the highest hours of sunshine, but they get more rainbows than I've seen anywhere. So I guess it just is sunny and rainy all at once. They just do weather very well in Cornwall. Talking of Cornwall, Susie's just come back from Bude. It's on the cusp, isn't it, Bude?
It's the last beach in
Cornwall.
In Cornwall, yeah, North Cornwall.
I've ridden on there. It's very nice.
Yeah, 3 miles of beach.
When you get the tide right, have a good old
Which
blast along there. Oh, good job. Grace says, morning everyone. Loved yesterday's interview. So interesting. If you like these interviews, I will keep them coming. For me, I think, sometimes there's a lot of me because obviously it's Natasha Makes. So, the hints in the name, right? But I think that we work with such incredible designers and artists that actually sometimes it's really nice to actually see them. It's just great. I need to watch Mayor of Easttown. So good. Oh, Colette. Look, 9 o'clock is too late for me. If I can catch it up, then absolutely fine. I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night, which is why Susie looked at me and went, oh, you look tired.
I'm sorry I said that now.
It's true.
I was just genuinely concerned.
She was genuinely concerned you didn't know about my binge watching.
No,
did you?
I didn't.
But you really must look after yourself.
But you were coming down with something.
I'm coming down with line of duty-itis. My mum will be sitting there going, what is it? What is it? What is this line of what? Yeah. It's a TV show, Mum. It's a bit gory for you, don't watch it. It's Sunny and Devon. Good morning. Jackie enjoyed yesterday's. Excellent. Susie, oh yes, lovely interview. Nice to meet the designer and how they started. She's a fascinating lady. We can have more. Lovely to see the lady behind the fabric. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you did watch it. That's good. Morning from Cincinnati, Ohio in the States. Good morning, Sue. Is it morning there? I can't get my time things round the right way because Phoebe, who watches us in California,
they're minus something.
She stays up late to watch us. Morning, Phoebe. But Cincinnati and her, is that in the middle bit?
Ohio's north, isn't it? North middle.
North middle. Oh, I got the middle bit right. I have no idea what that means for timings at all. But hello, Sue. Lovely to have you with us. My geography is slowly getting better. Oh, Alison says that she loves your cathedral window cushions.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. What else?
Yeah, since it'll be about -5 in hours.
Oh, -5 hours?
Yeah.
Not like -5
Not
like it felt like it was this morning.
It might be -5 degrees, but it's about -5 because Utah is -7.
Okay. Heidi says it's lovely, too hot here already, 30 degrees. Are you Cyprus? I want to say you're Cyprus, Heidi. Just rubbing it in, aren't you?
She's not GB.
She's certainly not GB. Not GB at all. Anna says that's why it's so green down here. Yeah, down in Cornwall it is super green. Good morning, John J. Cole Morgan. How are you? It's not warm in Tring, but the shop's open again today. Nervous but excited. Hey, look, you don't need to leave your home. We've got it all here. Got it all here. Oh, John said your interview was lovely, really, really lovely. More and more of these, please. Well, we can do all this. We can do all of this. Lovely autumn evening in Melbourne, says the lady herself. Hello, Lisa. I'm sorry I missed your call this morning, but yeah. I was busy. Probably catching kittens. I'm not going to lie, that's happened a lot today. Morning, Myra. She says, yes, love the interviews. Oh, good, good, good. Oh, it's blowing a hoolie. Do you know, Kirsty, I say that a lot and people look at me funny. I think it's because of me saying blowing a hoolie. They could just be looking at me funny. I mean, I'm open to all options. Right.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, in the corner down there. I am going to show you guys these little gems that have come in before Susie takes to the stage. Does something look wonky? Oh, is it the fabrics that are wonky? You know, just like something feels wonky here. I have got for you beautiful, beautiful William Morris agapanthus, maybe?
Is it?
I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe it says on
Is
the...
it on the selvage?
I don't know this. Who knows where the selvage is? It's 108 inches wide. It's going to be folded over many, many times. Many times. I don't know. Anyway.
A new duvet coming on.
You feel a new duvet coming on. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, 108 inches transforms to 270 centimetres, and that's your width. And then however much you then choose to have on top of that is up to you. But yes, I love these backings. They are very, very, very beautiful. And Susie, this will not show your muddy dog paws on your bed. Not that you have paws, the dog.
Yeah, I haven't got paws.
Let's just make that clear.
The dog has, although he isn't.
The dog has all the paws. Is he allowed on the bed?
Well, strictly no.
Strictly, yeah. Well, we all know that means yes.
Yeah. But since holiday, no.
Since the holiday, no. Really? Is that because he couldn't at the holiday place?
He couldn't at the holiday place, and he didn't. He didn't even come in the bedroom.
Oh,
he was
good
really
boy.
good. Yeah.
Good boy. I've got some more of this because you asked me to. So, you know, at the moment, you've just got to bear with me. When you ask me for stuff, just bear with me. I will get it. These are all up for sale by the half metre, by the way, and I will also, I haven't forgotten, I promised you some complimentary bundles to go with that as well. That is the, I want to say plum, I don't know if they call it plum, but I'm going to call it plum. It is sort of plummy. Claret goes really nicely with that. Right, okay, I've got it in the teal, but looky here. How beautiful is that with it? Ooh. Ooh.
It's very nice.
It's very lovely, isn't it? And works very beautifully with that because you've got all the same sort of tones in there. But also, I got for you as well, these are the mini strawberry thieves. If you're going on a teal trip, then why not? Actually, there's a lot of teal in the plum as well. Actually, that looks quite nice together as well. If you want one to be darker than the other, then maybe mix those two together, because this foxy colour is the background there, and then you've got the teal that's through there. So you can mix and match whichever way round you like.
They all work.
It will all work. So this is your Aqua Strawberry Thief Mini. And that's rather gorgeous. So that's back in stock. This is in stock, and we've got that in a different colourway too. Look, we've got it in that gorgeous red as well, which is utterly splendid. And then this is your Strawberry Thief normal size, not the mini, which is also rather lush. Oh, hello, PT's here.
Oh, am I? Oh.
Susie's quite quiet.
Low battery, maybe?
Is she? Are you low? Low battery? Let me have a little look. Everything should be turned on.
Or have I got the microphone too far down?
Whoa, we'll investigate. Can you hear her at all?
With the little red lights on where it says low battery, is that because there's a low battery?
It likes to do that anyway.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to, hang on, I will turn it on. Gemma,
Okay.
do you want some more batteries? Bear with me, caller. Just in case, I will turn you off from here.
Quietly spoken in you anyway, Kath, but, you know.
Everyone is, aren't they? There you go. I don't think that's anything. Is anyone surprised? Right, also on the website we have, let's move that out of the way. We have for you some Cafe Trios. Now, if you've missed out on any of these, then fear not, because some of them are loaded by the half metre, but I know that you also do love a bundle. A bundle o'cafe. How stunning is that? Ooh. I mean, just these are my colours. This is just beautiful to me. Oh, Gemma, you know the bundle with the shot cotton in. Yes. Jane actually cut it, and there are 4 more. The bolt wasn't labelled correctly, so we can load 4 more. Shall I show you which one I'm talking about? The one that I am talking about is this one here, and I thought we only had 5, but I found this, which is Kaif's Shot Cottons. It's got kind of a pinky, well, look, you can see there's your pink there, and then it's green, and then at the together it gives you this colour, and this sold out, it just went. But look, we can load, we've got 4 extras to load today, so if is that not just one of the most beautiful bundles we've ever done? I don't know, but I absolutely love it. Philip Jacobs, Brandon Mabley, and of course Kaif's Shot Cottons in there. It is the dream team. The dream team. I don't know why I'm singing that to you. I had all of these out on the floor. What day was it, Jen? Was it Friday? I had all these out on the floor, driving everybody mad, going, look at this, we could do this, we could do that. I love those together. Yeah, sometimes I just have too much choice and I get loose with too much choice. But yeah, I am loving those. Like I say, grab them while you can. There might be, but you know, if they run out, then we've got like this loaded by the meter, by the half meter for you. So, and the same with the cactus dahlias. But can we just have a moment for how beautifully it works with the spot? You know, I said throw in those spots, throw them in. And then you see you've got all of these beautiful purples and blues that will then work so beautifully here with this. And then pull in that purple and pink in there. I adore this one too. In fact, I don't know that I can have a favourite. It's like having children. Which is your favourite? Right. That's that bundle. And then, oh, the coleus is back. The coleus is back. Divine. Divine, divine, divine. And then it went so beautifully with the shirt stripes. Look, it picks out all this pink. And then, you see, I really, really love those 3 together. It reminded me of when we had Brandon in last year for his colour workshop, and we were doing the infinity scarf, and he's like, go for 3 very different fabrics. And I just thought, this, yeah, because Susie, you're back, say something. Let's just check that you, oh, I need to actually turn you on over here.
She's not turned on over here, that's why.
Well, I had to turn you off over there, because otherwise it would have hissed when you turned yourself off there.
It's not working.
It's not working.
I've got a delay, so if we just wait a moment.
There we go.
Waiting.
We'll see how loud Susie is. Don't whisper, Susie, it's okay. And then, oh, this was a bit special.
I like that one.
Yeah, Jupiter. I've been learning about Saturn on my my evening podcasts.
Oh, have you?
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not really sure how many
I'm back
rings
in
he
the room.
actually has. Look at that. Whoa.
That is a bit yummy, isn't it?
I mean, those 2 together just so right in so many ways.
Yeah.
And then you mix it up, because this has got, it just brings a little bit of lightness to it.
Yeah.
But it, whilst picking up
The dots. And
the greens, the blues and the pinks. Bah, 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 bah. We are really lucky to have all these fabrics to be able to play with. I mean, work with.
Work
and,
really
yeah,
hard with.
Work really hard with, and, you know, play, work with. Work. Sometimes I feel bad when the kids say to Mummy, are you working today? I'm like, is that what we call it? Are is it? I'm just going to say I love these damasks. I absolutely love them. And this as well. I don't think that these... Oh, look at that one. You get so many different colours. Do you want to see the third one that went with this one? Oh! Dunk-a-da-dunk-dunk-dunk. Ooh. Picks out the blues, the pinks, the purples. Just love it. And then there's something nice and cool there. These are all on quite a large scale, but also small because you can take little bits of this. Oh.
That'd be good for EPP.
It would be lovely for EPP. So how many do we had 10 of these? I don't know how many we've got left, but I just thought I'd give them a little waft in front of you because sometimes it's difficult to see from just one picture. I like a good waft. Susie's just looking at me going, all right.
No, wafting's
All
good.
right, love.
Wafting's
Oh, now, I've tried to get hold of some of the earlier Cave Facet collectives as well.
That looks almost Japanesey, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, Cave has been quite heavily inspired by that. I can't remember what he even calls this one.
Colours though.
This is your Asian circles in pink.
Look at me, almost.
There you go. It's like you were there. And then your damasks again because they're beautiful and pulls in the purples here. But then I've never seen this one either before. But do you know what it brought to mind? Do you know that quilt I did the other day that I tried to hang up on the back and it just won't hang up because I haven't finished it yet?
Yeah.
Imagine fussy cutting some of these out for your quilt.
Yeah, that would be a bit gorgeous.
Just stunning. Of course it's Philip Jacobs. Of course,
Really,
of course.
Really lovely.
So they look rather lush together, don't they, as well? And again, you know, your dark, your mid-tones, your lights. That's what I've tried to give you, a mixture. Because it's very easy to just go samey. But no, we need that variety. And these two next to each other, you've got all of these. It just highlights these. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. When they came out the box, because I ordered these months and months ago, and I'd forgotten that, and also I didn't get sent the whole order, so I've got some more that will be coming at some point. Now. How about this? Again, if you're doing that big quilt, in fact, I'll grab it in a second and show you the quilt I mean for those of you going, what do you mean what quilt? It's just by your feet, Susie.
Oh,
literally just by your...
The one that we were laying out.
Yeah, that's the one.
Over morning.
How beautiful is that together? It's upside down.
Sorry.
Yeah. If I grab one end and you socially distance yourself over there, that's the quilt I mean. So all of these, in fact, I've got quite a few of these ones in there. But if I'd have had the irises there, they'd have gone in for sure. And I think the more and more that I see of people's ones of these, the more I say find any of the Cave flowers, Facet Collective flowers.
They'll work.
Whack them on. If I'd have had these, they'd have gone on in there somewhere as well. So, you know, have fun, play. Thank you, Susie. I'm going to let you.
Yep.
Alrighty. We are nearly on to today's show, by the way. Just catching up over the weekend. It was really strange not being on air yesterday. I keep thinking it's Monday. It's not Monday. It's not. Just for anybody else who's confused. It's not Monday. And then how hot is this? Woo! Woo.
Wow.
I know. I know.
That's a dress.
But look, because
look
at all the greens. I wanted to call this like Tutti Frutti.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, this just looks beautiful with that. I think I put this one in to calm
Tequila
everything
sunrise.
down.
Tequila sunrise.
Tequila sunrise. Yeah, tequila. It makes me happy. Actually, it doesn't make me really unwell.
Yeah, I've never had it, I don't think.
Oh, don't do it. I remember one particular holiday. We lined up far too many and just went down the bar. I haven't been able to drink it since. Wah. No. On that happy note, would you like to say? Oh, what
swiftly
fools we were! What fools we were! It's quite good though because it meant I can never drink it again. Wasn't ever tempted again. What have I got here for you? Oh, stab myself in the eye. It's always a good one. I have got the Universal 90s. We bought you Universal 80s in a packet of 100, and now we've got you Universal 90s. So if you want a slightly bigger needle, if that's the one that you're used to working with, why not have 100 of them? And then you will not run, well, you won't run out for a very long time. And also, because we discussed this the other day with Gary, these are the ones that snap when you need them to rather than bending, because bent needles in your machine will damage your machine. It's better that they snap, which was a revelation for me. Was that a revelation for you, Susie? That needles should snap. You want them to snap.
Yeah.
Put under pressure, you want them to snap and not bend.
Yeah. Because have you ever tried to get a bent needle out of your machine?
I have not, no. I have not tried to get
you'll be there
one.
a while.
It does not sound like fun or anything I want to do. This is, so I have mine labelled, and in pen I've written on this, 90, Universal, if in doubt use this. And then on the 80s I've got Universal, but finer.
But finer.
Because I can never remember which way round it goes. The 80s are finer than the 90s.
It's the wrong way round.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sewing is
totally.
Back to front. Knitting is the other way, isn't it?
This is what I get left. Items on top tray equal to show on Tuesday, 4th of May's show. I mean, it's like we've got organisational skills or something.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll throw it on the floor, it's fine. Now. This, let me show you this, because we've had a Moda delivery. Hooray for a Moda delivery. Janet Clare. Do you know Janet Clare? Have your paths bumped, crossed or anything else?
No, I know of her and I've looked at her patterns.
Janet Clare is the most lovely woman you will ever meet. She's just gorgeous. I adore her. And I am so thrilled for her that she has got her fabrics with Moda. We've got some of her bags as well, haven't we? We could. Are they tagged or? Oh, we could do that.
We've got bags, also Christmas stocking and Christmas collection in amongst that lot.
There is a Christmas collection in here and Christmas stockings from said Janet Clare.
Just round the corner.
Yeah, I've got a few of these coming as well. Crafty Christmas is in June, so yes. Crafty Christmas is always.
I've already been.
Look at those feathers.
Doing.
You've already been of course you've already been doing Christmas patterns. What I really enjoy about Janet Clare's is that they are not overly girly.
No.
And if you've got I mean this is the bird lover's delight, isn't it? An ornithological delight, I tell you. Oh, actual feathers there.
Lovely for a conservatory.
Just or bags or anything actually. Cushions. A nice muted I mean, we go from the sublime to the ridiculous, don't we? We go from cave to just beautiful neutrals, very calm, very beautiful. And this is, let's give you a little idea of this.
Really pretty.
Very, very pretty indeed. There's Janet Clare. Oh, she had a haircut. And they're really beautiful. She lives down south. Yeah. She's on the coast, isn't she, down south? And her fabrics are gorgeous. And if you would like them in fat quarters, the whole collection, if you would like her jelly roll, we are working with jelly rolls today. Looky. Gemma wouldn't let us demo in that because we didn't have as many of those.
Oh, rude.
I know. It's not often that I'm disappointed. Oh, root cam. I managed to see my hairdresser. Happy days. She took one look at my hair and went, "Have you been dyeing this yourself, Natasha?" Because
how do they know?
You look like a tortoise shell at the back.
Oh.
So, bit harsh round, but fair. What have we got for you here? Who is this? Lady's Legacy by Barbara Brackman. Jane wanted this one.
A lot of fabric.
It's a lot of fabric, isn't it? It's a whopping 40 American fat quarters.
Wow.
40 American fat quarters. That is a lot. If you have got a mega,
10 metres.
10 yards.
Yeah.
10 yards of fabric.
That's a lot.
And it comes, a little bit over £100, but I just think that is rather beautiful.
Stunning.
Yeah. Look at all those paisleys and things in there. That was, yeah, and again, this is, oh, you've got, yeah, you see you've got paisleys and stars. I was a fan of that. In all the colours. I mean, look at all of that. That is beautiful. I've got a handful of these. They were really hard to get hold of. If we're looking at big chunks of fabric, then also we've got our Christmas ones. Sorry to say the C word so early on in the year. And I will show you these because we also have them in, this is your Red Barn Christmas, Moda Red Barn Christmas. We've got it in jelly rolls, hurrah. We've got it in charm packs and we have got it in layer cakes, which of course, if you have got the Kelmscook quilt, it is perfect for that. If you want to make a quilt for Christmas with your said layer cakes, you could do worse than use a layer cake for the raggy quilt. Perfect, because that just takes 10 inches. If you want to then do matching cushions, why not do a raggy cushion in 5-inch pieces? Exactly the same technique applies. Look on the website because my pattern is up there for you. And then other ones. It's not that I feel I've got. This is the one that you're using today. This is from, let's have a little look.
Songbook, this is, isn't it?
It is Songbook by Fancy That. And we did fancy that.
We did.
Uh-oh. Oh no, I've undone the bow.
Uh-oh.
I know. It's like trying to put things back into boxes. Oh, I can't do it. Somebody else is going to have to tie that bow for me. But look, again, look at all of these beautiful colours. They are laid out on the website. You can have a look at those. There are, again, these have come from Moda, so they cut them in American what have yous. I want to say there are 30 something there. Anyway, it's all detailed on the website for you because we've got them there. We are going to demo in this jelly roll, which is exactly the same range. And if you want an idea, it's quite fresh and spring-like, this one. It's rather lovely. Ooh. Lovely jubbly. Well, you'll be able to see because Susie's going to work with it. So, I mean, this is quintessential quilting type fabric, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's coming from Moda. And then one last one to show you again, your jelly roll from this range, your pumpkins and blossoms. This is by Fig Tree & Co. I like Fig Tree & Co. a lot. And again, your layer cakes, if you want to do something like the Kelmscook quilt or an easy peasy raggy quilt, then these are absolutely perfect. Fresh, gorgeous, very, very pretty. Lovely job. So that's what we've got on the show for you today. Right. The bag that Susie is going to make, she made out of this jelly roll, which is a Tilda one, and this is the bag. So anybody that has basically got rulers of any shape, size or description, this has been, look at that, this has been made for those, to keep them safe. It's got Starville fix and also lovely long handles so that you can keep them, and then you've got your hand there so you don't swing and whack people. I detect a pocket.
There's 2 pockets. The other one's inside because it's fully reversible.
Oh, it's fully reversible, yes. That is all you have left out of your jelly roll at the end of it. But yeah, so you've on this one you've got stripes going one way, and then on the inside, because it is fully reversible, you've got them going that way. That is a you know,
well,
beautiful.
It's a handy way to store and transport your rulers.
I'm going to put it there so that we can admire very muchly and move this. What was the word I was going to say? It's beautiful and it uses up your jelly roll rather than, come on, How many of you have got jelly roll that you've just stroked? Ah, yes, Susie's like, yeah, I have. I noticed that you bought this one to do. So you didn't, still got ones that you still stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I have a plan. I have a plan
You
for one of them.
have a plan.
I only have 2. I have a plan for one of them.
You have a plan for one of them. Okay. No, that's okay. No,
Yeah.
no judgment here.
It's on the, you know that list we were saying about?
The list.
It's on the list.
It's always a list. There's always a list. I'm making
Ever-growing
room.
lists.
I'm making room for you.
Excellent.
Pop that down there. So there we go. That's what we're making today. I say we, Susie's making it.
Well, we hope
I'm going to go and sit over there and, you know, chat a bit. And over to you,
Awesome.
Susie.
Right, I shall lift everything up and come
Awesome.
out that way.
Thank you very much. And
bring
so we
that there
dance.
and just grab these bits as well,
Hurrah.
because I had everything in piles.
The joy of
The only thing I'm
the
gonna
joy
need-
of the piles.
The joy
but
of the
that,
piles,
that
yeah.
is not
Yeah.
necessarily.
It's all right, I applied ointment earlier, so we're good. We're good. And I realised I am going to need an iron, aren't I?
Then turn that one on.
This one
Up,
is...
up, 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 up on the base. There you
Cool,
go.
we're good.
There you go.
And use this as your ironing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. Thank you.
Good morning,
Good
Susie.
morning. Thank you, Tash, for inviting me again.
Oh, thank you for. Oh, it's 5 a.m. in
Upset
Cincinnati.
you all last time enough.
Why would you upset
No,
us?
I try not to. Try not to. So yeah, exciting. I don't. Well, this pattern came about because I have a lot of rulers.
It's because we are friends and we love creative grids.
Exactly. Yes, but I also have other rulers as well, and I like to
What?
separate the different
Yes.
makes out, because then I can just up and go depending on where I am and what I'm doing. But I also have like the templates for EPP and all of that as well, so I like a bag for that.
No, it's fine.
Bit,
I feel like this is Confessions of a Quilter.
it is. Well, it's confessions of a bag person, isn't it? I have a lot of bags basically. But what I did want is a bag that fitted my biggest stripology ruler in. Yes.
Sorry, Josh is asking, can you turn your mic the other way?
The other way. Can I turn upside down? Ooh, I can. Probably. Let's try. Does that make any difference? Okay, cool. I can just shout very loudly.
Oh, shouting will work.
So I wanted something that would protect it as well, and that's why I chose the Styleville fix. The other reason for using that over anything else, not only its strength, but the fact that it's got that adhesive coat to it means that you can quilt as you go and press it as you go, which fixes it into position, which makes it really mega easy. So hopefully that all makes sense. The other reason for when I designed this was, as Tash has already made me confess, I have a number of jelly rolls.
It's a safe space.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's a safe
I
space.
just hope Mr. Duncan's not listening. That I bought thinking, oh, I'll do something with, and I've never dared touch. So this, I thought, right, my challenge I'm setting myself is I'm only allowed to use a jelly roll to do the bag inside and out.
You snuck in a bit more though, didn't you, for the pockets?
I opted to sneak in because the jelly roll I had didn't have a plane. It was all really busy, so the bobbin bit wouldn't stand out. That's
Yes.
the only reason I put it in. But the one I'm doing this morning, I have only used the jelly roll.
Really?
I have no plane.
Oh.
So, challenge accepted. I did it.
Amazing.
I did
Amazing.
it.
Naomi is sneakily watching today. Oh no, unable to. Oh, she's got to go to work. She does try and sneakily catch up though.
Oh, bless.
It's all fine.
So yeah, has my mic dropped in? Oh gosh, we're having a disaster with mics.
She's gone quiet again.
I've gone quiet
Yeah,
again.
point it up.
Do you know, there are some people in this world who'd be quite glad if I went quiet again.
Why don't you pop it on the other lapel?
Well, I think
Is
that'll
it-
hold.
are you all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll hold. We're good. Right. This is scary, isn't it? Don't have this issue when I'm on my own in my workroom.
We talk. Yeah, you're all right.
Are we good now, Gemma? We're good.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where this all came about. So your pattern, when you get it, will say that this is made with a jelly roll or roly-poly if you've got that make of jelly roll. But you don't have to use a jelly roll. If you've got your layer cakes, you can subcut because it doesn't matter how many seams you've got, it's fine, it all works.
Perfect.
So it will pretty much work with anything you've got. Jelly roll just makes it super easy and less cutting to do. So that's all you need to do. I wouldn't go anything less than Bosal if you're aiming to use this for rulers. But the size of bag, it would also make a fab picnic bag, beach bag, that sort of thing as well.
Well, that's the other thing. You could always use one of our insulating waddings.
Yeah, and use that in it as well.
Perfect.
So it's a design, a pattern that you can use for anything,
Nice.
but a great way to use up your jelly strips.
Perfect.
So let's crack on. Because there's a bit of stitching, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's a lot of straight stitching. So
I think that makes it one of those makes that anybody can do, first of all.
Yeah.
So it's accessible to anyone. It's fun to do, quick to do. If you've just come off a quilt that's hurt your brain, then this is just a lovely quick make to do.
It is, yeah. I mean, this is an afternoon project that is, you can easily put together. And the other thing that I was thinking as I was driving over here is I put super long handles.
Yes.
If you don't want long handles, just cut them down to shorter ones. Because not everybody wants an over the shoulder hand. If you've got shoulder issues, the last thing you want is to fill your bag with all your rulers and then put it on your shoulder. You want to carry it.
Yeah.
So you may want just shorter handles. It's not a problem, just make them shorter. So, the pattern is there to be tweaked to your personal taste. So I can make shorter handles on this one if we want to.
Oh, get you.
Yeah.
But it's asking about the bag. She says it's a beautiful bag, but will it take the weight of the rulers? She has an impressive collection, but I know you do as well.
I actually, Mr. Duncan, don't listen, have every creative grid ruler bar
you?
one.
Which is the one you're missing?
I can't remember which one it is.
Oh,
but I've looked
well,
at
we need
it
to
a lot
fill
and thinking,
that.
do I need that one? I'm like, I might do. So
Geraldine
I've
is
got that.
not far behind you.
Yeah.
I will admit she's
and mine, it's fine. They all fit. And I've also got in my templates for my EPP, which are the ones that come on a ring and you get...
Oh, yeah.
You know the ones
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
So they're quite bulky. So I've got all of those, all my rulers stored in there and transported in there safely. So yes is the answer to that one.
Anne says that pre-cuts are great, but oh boy, can they make a mess, or is it just me? Get a little handheld hoover and just hoover down the sides of them, the top of them.
Yeah.
And it just takes
before you start.
Yeah, especially if it's the pinking, isn't it? If you've
Yeah.
got ones that have got pinked edges.
Yeah.
Two things to realise about that. The measurement is to the base of the pink.
Yes.
But just get a handheld hoover or something and just hoover the top and bottom of your jelly roll.
Or just put sellotape across the end of the jelly roll before you unravel it.
Yeah.
That'll pick it up as well.
Yeah.
And I always, once I've done all my cutting, I then go over my cutting mat with a lint remover.
Oh yeah, we've had, they're good, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
I don't know if we've still got those in stock, but certainly we've had them. Christine loves a long
But
handle.
you definitely do need to clean your machine out once you're finished.
Okay, all right.
It's a definite. But I do anyway. After every
You are very good.
am.
You are very good. We
Yeah.
are learning from you, and we are replacing our needles on a very regular basis. Hence, getting everybody else to. We're on a move to get everybody else to as well.
Excellent.
Laurie says brilliant size and design, Susie. Love it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Jared,
you.
there you
Right,
go. I've
let's
just finally reached Geraldine's one. Great bag, but I doubt it will take the weight of all rulers. Geraldine, absolutely, it's all good.
It does. It does. Right, I'm going to move some bits aside because I did a bit of his one I made earlier. If you're ordering your style wheel fits from Tash, which I hope you do.
Yeah, how much do they need?
You need a metre.
Okay.
And before you cut your side panels, as it states, if you cut your handle pieces, you'll get them in one length.
Ah, nice.
But if you don't do that, it's not a problem, because I deliberately did that this morning and cut them afterwards.
Yeah.
Because all you can do, because it's got the adhesive, you can stitch them together just with a zigzag, or you can just iron them into place because they're going to hold anyway.
My other favourite thing is waist shapers.
Yes, they're good as well.
For handles. That's my newfound favourite thing, and I heart it very much.
The advantage of using this for a handle that is going to take a lot of weight is it's mega soft, easy to hold, and it doesn't give you that, I'm going to use the term bra strap dent. You know, the one
end of the
night,
yeah.
and you just think, oh, that really hurts.
Yeah.
And then you realise that everything's done up far too tight.
yeah, we do not need it in our life.
You don't get that with this. So if you do cut your side panels first out of your metre, you do have 2 pieces this size left, which is what I cut the 2 handles from. But if you cut your handle piece first, you'll get it as one 40-inch length.
Yes.
So it just saves you doing that faff. But I didn't do that, just to show you that as well. So that's a spare bit. That's also spare. So you can make several baskets and things from that.
Sharon says, I'm glad I'm not the only one that buys fabric and then strokes it, just strokes it. You're not, and I think we all realise that buying fabric and using it are actually two different hobbies.
Absolutely. Same with all my card making stuff. I do the same with paper as well.
Me too.
I used to buy 2 sheets of everything.
Yeah, one to use and one to keep. Julia, I think we know that Elizabeth is a bad influence. I think she would admit that herself. Someone just said, I think it was Myra said, oh, died and gone to heaven, all that Moda, but doesn't want to look at the Moda prices. We've tried to keep them, we've tried to be good on them as much as we can. Fabric prices are going up. There's no toys about it. Fabric prices are going up. There's been a cotton shortage. There's been all sorts of whatevers. I will not bore you with all the details. Oh, Lisa, my dog's just jumped on the remote and changed the channel. How rude. Look, we're not for everyone.
Unnecessary.
You know. And, and
ask.
that's okay. That's okay. We are comfortable with that.
Asked, I'm just going to say.
Bless him. Margaret has, she said, acantha sleeves. That's the one with the big William Morris backing
is that
fabric.
What it's called?
Yeah, that's.
Well
So I was sort of.
You were nearly there.
Yeah, agapanthus. I got that wrong. And then someone suggested agadoo.
Agadoo.
Do.
Don't start on that one. You set us off. That was the one you. No, I'm not even going to ask.
Do. That was what Gemma had us singing this morning.
Oh.
But a rude version. She's naughty too. In fact, could you imagine Elizabeth and Gemma in a room together?
Not good.
Very bad influence they'd be on each other.
Not good. There would definitely be some censorship needed after that one. Gemma's now going to be very cross, isn't she?
Yeah, I know. There's a delay. So we say stuff and then about 10 seconds later we hear Gemma squawk and try to deny it. Are you doing a little zigzaggedy stitch over there?
Just while you were talking, I was just going to join
join them together.
Yeah. But I see. Oh no, there you go. I was going to say I seem to have done this. See, I'm so miserly, I think is the word, with all my wadding that I actually do a lot of wadding stitching together. Just even little pieces like this because I just hate wasting it. So yeah.
Rona says, can you make the handles longer and use it to go across the body? It might go across the body as is. But yes, you can. Of course you can.
It depends on your body, doesn't it, really? I'm loath to try because I'm going to knock the mic or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I suspect it would. So this is a full strip. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you have lost your mic. It's rummaging in you.
It's rummaging down. I have it back.
It's because it's back to front on your top. You just need to pull your top back out.
There you go. There God. Right. Are we good?
That's what I meant. You might want to put it on the other lapel so it doesn't pull it into it.
Switch it over.
Sorry.
No, you're all right. And of course my hair's in
You've got hair. How dare you have hair?
I know, I should have put it up.
Oh, Geraldine says, wonder what rulers you're going to use today. What rulers are you going to use today?
Well, I'm using I just want a nitty square, so I'm using the itty bitty 8th square ruler to start with. But to cut things, you're going to need, well, you can either use your Stripology. I'm also going to use this one, because this one's a handy size. Am I using that one? And this one. So
the 24 by 24.5 by 6.5.
Yeah, 24.5 by 6.5. I just have them all out generally and use the one that is the right measurements, but the least excess of measurement, if that makes any English. So I'm not trying to manipulate something that is ridiculously long to do a 2.5 inch piece. And that's really why I accumulated so many rulers.
It happens.
It does.
Myra says that she opens her big box and lays out the fabric on the bed, and her husband pops in and asks what she's going to make. She's like, his face, when I say I'm just looking. The thing is, Myra, now, you see, Myra's husband has horses.
Right.
Does he ride all his horses, or does he even just have one field ornament?
Exactly.
You know, because horses can be incredibly expensive field ornaments, and, you know, just saying, it's okay. I bet he just strokes those as well.
Probably.
Yep.
Oh, well, I'd hope so, because otherwise their coat's going to be in a horrendous condition. So your Style Fix pieces, you are going to use these as a Quilt-as-you-go. These are your outers.
Oh, right, yes.
So I made the decision to cut we're going to end up boxing the corners on the bag.
Yes.
So I made the decision to cut out the corner before I started, because that gave me a piece that I could then use at a later stage as a coaster.
Oh, nice, okay.
So that's why I did it in advance. So just with a heat ruler, I'm just marking a 2.5 inch corner. And the other trick that
That is a tiny coaster though, Susie.
Yeah, but I have very small glasses.
Do you? Well, it's just like champagnes or thimbles or...
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, a lady of class,
Yeah,
clearly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So the other trick is when you've measured and cut
Before
one...
the wine.
Yeah, before wine, yeah. Don't bother measuring the next one. Use the same square, because then they'll be identical.
Amazing.
And save it, because you're going to need it later on when we do the lining.
They're also really handy scraps to have if you're using magnetic clasps, aren't they? Just
Absolutely,
whack a bit
yeah.
of that in.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean, that is a 2.5 inch square is a decent size.
It is a decent size.
You know, you can do a lot
Very
with a 2.5
small
inch square.
glass, but yeah, we'll give you that. Yeah, Myra, I have hit the nail on the head with the field ornaments. I know I have. I know I have.
So I have put aside 4 strips for my handles. If you're only going to do small handles, 2 strips will suffice. Then I put aside 12 strips for the lining.
Okay.
And then all you're going to do with these, and I've already done this because
Oh, you mean the actual strips, the actual fabric
the
strips?
whole fabric strips from your jelly roll. So your lining is, you basically sew the 12 strips together, 1/4 inch seams as one piece.
Right.
It just saves time. And of course you can chain piece.
Let's have a look at those colours.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Somewhat lush, aren't they?
They are somewhat lush.
And the other thing with the jelly roll, I don't know about you, Tash, but when I open a jelly roll, I mean, you do that as you open it, don't you?
Yes.
It takes a lot to open a
Yes.
jelly roll because they are so perfectly rolled.
You will never roll it again.
No, you never will. They have a machine to do it. So
Oh, is that
yeah,
why?
that's how
Yeah.
it's done.
I was watching one of the floor managers at the craft
Yeah.
store the other day trying to re-roll a jelly roll, and I just smiled to myself and walked on by
Yeah.
because A, I wasn't going to help because I would be no help, and B, I knew that was never going to work.
No, indeed, it isn't. So I've randomly selected.
Oh.
I chose my 4 for my handles,
Yeah.
and then I just literally shut your eyes and
You
pull.
just went in.
Did.
You did.
And as I sewed them together, I sewed them in pairs and then put the pairs together so that I got a mix of colours going on.
Nice.
But you know when you buy a jelly roll that every single strip is going to coordinate with the other one, because
that's the joy of a jelly roll, isn't it? Or a pre-cut in general.
Yeah.
Just a pre-cut general. Or when you get a collection, so the quilt we've got on the back of the wall today, actually I think goes really beautifully with the Tilda Woodland, which is what you made your bag out of. But that was actually the Lewis and Irene one. So if you've got, that was the fairy clocks. But the tonally, it goes so beautifully with the Tilda.
I think I should have done this on the bigger ironing board before I started, didn't I? Do
you want a big ironing board? There's one right in the corner.
Oh, there is, yeah.
It's like mega big.
Yeah, it might be quicker if I did that, but I'm just trying to crack on so we can do some more bits. But so the lining, that's what you're going to do with your lining. And I'm pressing it, well, not really, am I? But you do press.
Give it a go.
Yeah, you do press your seams in just one direction is fine. Don't have to get too worried about it. For these strips, I didn't pre-condition with Best Press or Starch Savvy, whichever you like to use, because you're just sewing a strip. It's fine. But what I do when I sew strips together is sew them in alternate directions. So so one way, and then the next strip join is the other way, and that does minimise the sort of movement, so you get a strip rather than a wave.
Now you see, I meant to do that. You know the cave quilt that I did the other day, and it says in the instructions even to do that, and yet I didn't, because I was just batch making.
Yeah.
But the Dukey, because it doesn't pull and because I didn't interfere, it just fed straight.
Yeah.
So I think it's also an element of know your machine, and it was superb. Whereas my machines before I went across to Dukey, absolutely. If I didn't alternate, I'd be in a whole world of moon-shaped trouble. Yeah. Let me tell you.
It also is the fabrics. I mean, it's the same with everything in life. If you pay good money for something, you get a better quality of fabric, and it doesn't do the warp and the move around. It tends to lie itself properly. But yeah, these colours are just amazing. It's a shame you can't see them close up on the iron.
With your top actually really nicely.
That's lucky, isn't it?
And your trousers, you've got your mustardy trousers on, and they do
go
really well.
I'm a little bit colourful today.
You are. You always look colour coordinated though.
My face is very colourful as well. Somewhat wind burnt face.
Do you know, I did think that you were looking tanned from Cornwall, but I
did wash, honest, while we were there.
Yeah.
We didn't go in the sea though.
Don't blame you. Freezing.
Well, normally we do, but first of all, we had the big, what do we do with the dog while we're in the sea? So we bought him a dry robe as well.
Oh.
And he did go in, splashed around a lot, but we didn't. The sea temperature was 7 degrees.
Yeah, there's no need.
And even the die-hard swimmers were coming out of the sea pool somewhat magenta.
Magenta.
I just looked at it and went, not for me.
When we lived in Cornwall, there were a number of hardcore sea swimmers that swam every day.
Yeah, well, in the sea pool at Bude, there is a group that do that. One of our friends down there, he is part of that. But there were people in there with no wetsuits on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's not something you should do, just take up. Apparently, if you're going to start outdoor swimming, you start in May in wearing a wetsuit, and you reduce your wetsuit thickness so that your body gets used to it. The other thing I learnt was for every temperature that the sea is, so say it's 7 degrees, that's how many minutes you should stay in.
Really?
Yes, because after that your body starts to go into shock.
Yeah, my body gets massively shocked.
Yeah,
anybody else that has to see me in a swimming costume also looks slightly shocked.
To be fair, wetsuits aren't the most flattering, are they?
No, they're not.
Yeah, if you've got any problems about how you look, don't look at yourself in a wetsuit. Yeah, but It was worrying though that there weren't even there was no surf, but there weren't even the usual surfers out either. So yeah, definitely avoided this. Right, so I'm now going to. So we've put our lining pieces together, and I'm not going to cut them just yet.
So that was 12 strips, just
12
sewn.
strips
straight sewn
put together. Yeah.
Perfect.
So now we're going to do the outers. Now I have done one ahead. But with the outers, so we've cut our corners off, we'll carry on with those, and we're going to quilt. This is a quilt-as-you-go method. So you just take strips, place them across. Now the first one I tend to do straight across the diagonal.
Do it.
Because that makes it a lot easier, just trimming wise really. Don't press it down yet. So you're just going to position it there. Then you're going to take another jelly roll.
So my question to you then is, you know that the Styleville Fix has one side that's adhesive. Yes. Which side do you...
So you want the adhesive side upwards.
So you're going to be sewing, this side is going onto the adhesive side?
Yes.
So you don't then use that for the lining?
No.
Okay.
No. That's why I said you don't need to press, you can press the lining strips in any direction. Right. Because they are not fixed to the Styleville.
Okay.
The reason I've used the adhesive side upwards is because as I sew these together, I'm using that adhesive to hold the strips in place.
Oh,
and then you get a really flat or quilted look straight away.
Nice.
You haven't got to do any stitch in the ditch or anything because you've already done it.
If people wanted to buy a lining fabric and they didn't need it double-sided, maybe they don't have children that get chocolate and goodness knows what on the outside of the bag, and you want to actually appear clean and tidy, and so reversible bags are great because you just spin it inside out and no one can see the chocolate. You know, for example, we've all been there. How much plain, I will get to the end of the question, how much plain would they need?
So each side is approximately 25 inches high by 19.5 inches wide.
Oh, okay. So
half a metre of width of fabric would do it. No, just don't.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't do
No.
it. You could do, because instead of having, what I've done is had an extra bit of the lining peeking up at the top. So if you went flush, then it would work with half a metre.
Okay. Okay.
But if you wanted that band, you just cut them the same size.
Okay.
Basically, as long as your outer piece and your lining piece are exactly the same size,
then you're all good to go.
You're good, and that would work out of half a metre.
So that would work. Okay, so if you wanted, it just means that you'd then get 2 of these bags
absolutely
out
could.
of a jelly roll. That's all. I'm just, if you used a plain...
And then you wouldn't, there's no need to do 2 pockets, other than you have a pocket on each bag. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of ways to do it. I was just trying to challenge myself to use an entire
challenge
jelly
Susie
roll.
Duncan.
Yeah, I used to have, every Friday I used to be challenged with something.
Challenge Susie. Was it a bit like Challenge Annika, but without the lycra?
Yeah,
or helicopter?
Definitely didn't have the lycra. No helicopter was involved.
Okay.
And it used to be, someone used to walk around the shop floor, pick up the things that hadn't sold, and I used to be challenged to make something with it.
Oh, I like that. They're my favourite types of challenges.
Yeah.
Rona says that she wears a wetsuit for paddleboarding, but never look in the mirror with it on. No. I want to try paddleboarding. Is it easy?
I don't know. I wanted to have a go. No one was, obviously with social distancing, there was no classes down there.
Yeah.
So I did look at the cost of buying them. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. That's a lot of money.
I have a tailor-made wetsuit from when I used to wakeboard and water ski every week, like religiously. Obviously, that was before children, so, you know.
They stretch.
Yeah, no, not quite as much as I've stretched. Something drastic has to happen. Oh, talking of something drastic, Freddie, bless him, has got to do the Captain Tom challenge, which is to do 100 things.
Okay.
So he wanted to
That's
bake 100 cakes. And I went,
Surely that's just one thing. Bake cakes, doesn't matter.
but 100 of them.
Oh, right, okay.
And I know exactly who would end up doing that. So
Yeah.
it was like, no. Or, well, I said yes, but...
That chocolate cake recipe that I've got does 60.
We'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so that was one. And then the other thing is, I'm like, well, if you're going to do something with cakes, Freddie, then you've got to do something with exercise to balance it out.
Yes.
So he's going to do 100 power plate minutes over this month.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that 10 minutes on the power plate is the equivalent to half an hour in the gym,
That's good.
which for a 7-year-old is quite a lot.
It is, yeah. Watch
Yeah.
his ligament.
So I'm going to have to sponsor him to do this / also
That's
do it
the
with
thing,
him.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So bless him. He's all excited about that.
Yeah, no, good for him. That's good. I think it is good. Yeah, if nothing else.
Margaret says
Captain
100
Tom-
cuddles of his kitten. That's 15 minutes.
I was going to say
Oh,
that.
he's always,
yeah.
he already did. It's meant to be something challenging. He
Yeah.
comes down in the morning and his first question is, can I see the kittens?
Yeah.
Can I let the kittens
That's
out?
what I was greeted with this morning as well.
Yeah,
Hello, am I allowed the kittens? Don't ask me. I'm just a
Geraldine
guest.
says, no chance with a wetsuit. I struggle to put tights on.
Your tights. So this morning,
Go on.
got a new pair out of the drawer. Not kidding. I walked up to Dunks and I said, do you think these are going to fit? Because they literally came to my knees. Brand new pair. And they did fit.
Amazing. Amazing.
stretch.
There is something amazing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hardest thing is a wetsuit.
Oh, getting them off. Oh, we used to fall about in
Or
half.
even trying to get back into
Yeah,
it. Like
no,
if
you
you did
can't do
2
it.
sets in the
Yeah, it
wakeboarding,
doesn't
then
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And we used to take our wetsuits off outside, so we didn't trail
Yeah.
water through the accommodation. We were just in hysterics. Just couldn't and getting your boots off.
It's all impossible. It's
Doesn't
all
happen.
impossible.
Right,
I have all of this to
back
come
to
with
this.
mine. Yes, sorry,
So,
Susie, we
When you're
digress.
quilting as you go, top tip:
Yeah.
position your strips where you want them to end up first.
Okay.
Just as you go, because then you know how much you can slither and save for your fabric, but you also know that when you flip it back over after you've sewn, it is going to fit and you're not going to have any bits missing. So for my first strip that I'm going to sew, that's where it's going to be positioned. So when I flip it, I've got it in position, ready to go. And the thing you want is pins, which I had a minute ago, but
You
they
did,
have
didn't you?
disappeared.
What have you done with them?
I don't know.
Oh,
What did I
let's
do
play
with
Hunt
them?
the Pin.
See, I've been really tidy.
Yeah,
Not.
that was your error, isn't it?
That is ridiculous. They were here, weren't they? You saw them.
Is there a bunch in my trolley?
You've got some in your. There's some there. Can
Oh
I use
yeah,
those
yeah,
ones?
use those.
Because that's what I had out, ready to use. But oh no, look, here they are. Got them. So I do like a pin to hold it in place, and I usually position the pin further away than I know that the machine foot's going to be. And these pins are really good because they're super long as well. So they'll go through the Styleville fix as well. I'm not going to bother up here. So now what you're going to do is a 1/4 inch seam along there. So we'll get this underneath and we'll switch this back to 1/4 inch, which is number 3. So good, isn't it? But do check, if you haven't got the 1/4 inch marking, just check your 1/4 inch positioning and get used to where it's going to be in line with your presser foot, because you can easily work it. But as long as you're using the same seam throughout, then that's
Sorry,
good.
everybody. I was just explaining to Elizabeth what a power plate was. It looks like a step, doesn't it? Like a step up thing, like you used to have in the 80s. But it vibrates, and the one I've got a pop of. You've got vibra plates and stuff like that, but the power plates are the original, and they are, to my mind, the best, having tried a lot of them. And when I was training for the Olympics, that was when I very first had one. You can get. So I had the My 3, which is like a home version. You can pick them up second hand for a couple £100 online. on eBay and stuff, but they are phenomenal. And I was basically tasked with, could you get someone who'd never done anything to the Olympics in a 4-year cycle? So I had to get muscle very, very quickly. And the power plate vibrates at a frequency that means that normally when you do a squat or something like that, you'd use about 50 to 60% of your muscle fibres. But with the vibration that it puts through it, you use closer to 100% of your muscle fibres. So it's far more efficient and effective in the exercise that you do. Hence, you don't need to exercise for as long. And I absolutely love it. It's been sort of hidden under a lot of fabric for the last year, so I don't think that's really helped with the old lockdown lard. But it's been gotten out, dusted down, and we're on it. So that's
cool.
So they're fabulous. And I remember my fencing instructor, because obviously I hadn't lunged when I first started fencing. So oh god, you'd lunge and then you'd have to recover very quickly and spring back up.
Yeah.
And when I first started fencing, oh gosh, wow. So I just used to practice lunging on the power plate, and
That's
he's
a
like,
good idea.
how did you get that muscle that quickly? I was like, oh, it's a power plate.
Yeah.
It's a power plate.
We have ways and means. So,
oh, there you go. Tesco and Pool are selling paddle boards very reasonably, says Diane. Just if you happen to be near Pool.
So,
I bet you Bodmin Asda does as well. They always used to sell stuff like that.
Yeah, the one that I saw was
I don't know.
I can definitely tell you was not cheap.
Was not a Bodmin Asda paddleboard.
No, apparently it was on offer as well. So you just carry on doing this. I'm just going to carry on. Is that all right?
Yeah. No, go for it. Go for it.
Carry on now.
So just flip it right sides together, stitch down.
And you carry on doing that.
Do you change your seam allowance or anything on this?
No, it's all
not your seam allowance, your stitch length.
You can do. It depends on your machine, how it copes with the stitches, whether it will do it or not. I think this is, what's this? We can go up. It was on 2. Let's go up to 2.6. You have to know your machine, don't you, for things like this?
Yeah.
How it copes with it. Same with people ask, do you need a walking foot on it?
I would say with Dukey's, often not, is what I found.
Yeah, my machine, I did all of mine without having to change it at all. But like you, mine is a bit of a power horse.
Lo has joined us. Good morning. Major multitasking. Da, 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 da. Lightsabers at the ready. But it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Very good. Very good.
She's on form. She may have joined us. Don't
That
buy
is
cheap
very
paddleboards.
good.
They're harder to stand on. You see, this is it, isn't it? We say this about fabric. Don't buy cheap fabric because it's harder to sew with. And then what do? Oh, buy a cheap paddleboard. Maybe if you just bought 2 and put 1 under each foot.
Yeah, it's the same with surfboards as well. That is why Cornwall, after the summer holidays, has a massive trash issue because everyone's bought cheap surfboards and then just abandoned them because they're broken. They have the same problem with festivals and stuff at the moment, don't
they?
Yeah, they do. So I do press as I go. So as you press, you're melting that adhesive. Just make sure your iron doesn't cross onto the style wheel.
You could use your Teflon pressing sheet and then it would just peel back off anyway.
Yeah.
Or use your
I use my Prim
mini iron.
That's what I use because it is actually the perfect size.
It is. It really is.
It's almost like it was designed for
the job. Designed for quilters.
It's just incredible, isn't
Elizabeth, I did see that you'd missed out the M from home when you were asking Lo if she was home, but I didn't like to ask. I mean, I know you two get on. I was like, okay, we'll leave that there. I'm sure she knew what you meant.
So we're going to carry on doing this.
Lo says, I'm not home, Elizabeth. But yes, I am home. I'm glad that we have, you know, we've corrected that. Oh, is that what you? So, Lo, are you going out in your motorhome every week or weekend or something? Because she's been travelling the country. I think she's making up for the fact she's been stuck in for a while. And she went to Swanage. My brother did some sort of, I don't know. They have to do like some sort of geography-based field study or something at Swanage. We got the army barracks at Crowborough. That was as far as we ever got. My brother got Swanage.
You realise that when you were doing the army barracks at Clare, you were literally almost in my parents' back garden.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. So I used to be involved with the Red Cross a lot.
Right.
So I used to do casualty simulation for the army training grounds.
Oh, okay.
On Ashdown Forest,
Ah.
which was Mum and Dad's, is basically Mum and Dad's back garden.
I didn't know you were from that neck of the woods.
I am. Indeed I am. I know I get around a bit, but... Yeah.
In the nicest possible way, Susie. In the nicest possible way.
Most of it through travel with my dad's work.
But Elizabeth said, I went back and corrected it. How to make friends and influence people. Do you know what, though? Spell check is a beast for that. Absolute beast. Oh, hi, Ali G. How are you?
Talking of spell check, so my phone has just done an update. I know we're diversing here, but since it's done the update, it's, you know, they have these automatic word fills and things. Yeah. Gone berserk.
Has it?
Yeah, gone berserk.
Does it not work on some sort of...
It's really weird. It goes on frequency of word you use as well, doesn't it? But it has come out with the most ludicrous words.
I mean, it could be quite fun. People might wonder what on earth you're on, but it could be quite fun.
Well, yeah, I have had a few comments.
So I used to work for a company called Possum Controls. Yeah, I know. This will be another one where Gemma will be like, when did you do that? I lasted 6 months.
Should also be, oh no, where's this going? Do I need to mute her mic?
So, yeah, we were, and we used to do all of the environmental home devices for people with motor neurone disease.
Oh, right.
So from a blink of an eye, they could open their blinds, shut their blinds, change their TV. I mean, it was
phenomenal,
serious bit of kits. But there's two types of motor neurone disease, and one gets your voice very, very quickly. And so they used to do the speech devices like Stephen Hawkins had.
Yeah.
So I used to go and set them up with these, and that worked on. I mean, we're going back quite a few years now when Blackberries were the thing. Yeah.
Some members of my household still have a Blackberry.
Would you be married to him?
Apparently
maybe he's going for the antique look.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He said,
along with the Nokia, whatever it was.
One day it's going to be worth a fortune.
Amazing. Possibly. But the thing was, that used to work on the same thing. It used to predict what you would say.
Yeah.
So the more you used it, the better it got at sounding like you.
Yeah.
Because it would go on frequency of words and how often you used a sentence as well.
Yeah.
So it was very, very, very clever. So I guess that mobile phones have used the same sort of technology. As these. But it was phenomenal. It was also the most depressing job I'd ever done in my entire life.
Yeah. So sad.
And
it is one of the most horrific diseases, I think.
But when you could set their home up so they had that independence again, that was phenomenal. And I remember going out to see one woman who was very well to do she'd been a doctor's secretary pretty much all her life. And, you know, like twin set and pearls, really, you know, really smart, really beautifully presented. And she'd gone down, bless her, with this. And the first thing she wanted to know is whether or not she could swear with it. It's like,
okay.
okay. So I just let her loose with it, and the very first thing that she put in was to her husband, "You are late again, you beep."
Oh my goodness.
I was like, okay.
Okay. Obviously a few issues there.
A few, yes. yes. But that did make me smile. She had obviously...
Stored it up for a
She'd
while.
stored it up and stored it up. And
But great to be able to finally vent her feelings.
absolutely. Sounded like Anchor. You're late again, you Anchor. Or something like that.
Yes.
Lo, what have you been... She's been
Bless.
causing havoc and mayhem somewhere. Oh, looking forward to paddleboarding at the beach, says
Oh,
Rona.
Yes.
But waiting for the killer whale to leave first.
Yeah, I would. That's a good move. Wait for the killer whale to move on. Yeah.
When
How rude that he even or she decided to descend on the beach.
I don't know. You see, I just remember when I was very pregnant, going to the because I was pregnant with Freddie in Cornwall, going to the beach and my getting ready to go in the water, and Stephen just going, "Oh, it's a good job we're not near the Japanese, isn't it? They'd harpoon you."
How rude.
It's like, thank you, feeling
That's so
wonderful
rude.
in my pregnant state.
Yeah, at that particular state.
He thought it was hilarious. I had lost my sense of humour at about 7 or 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And just going, no,
Yeah.
no. There are some things husbands don't understand. Is there an actual killer whale?
An actual killer whale. What?
Rona.
That would kill what?
No. Like where Rona is? Are we? Because there is up there, is there?
Yeah. Which beach?
Well, she's Scotland, is Rona.
Oh, they are having an influx.
Are they having
aren't
a
they?
situation with killer
Yeah.
whales?
Something to do with the warmer temperatures has brought the krill further south, or I don't know, and so they're all...
This is where I'd need to ask Freddie. He'd know. He watches all the National Geographic stuff. He'd know. Oh, Ali G's watching and working from home. You see, I think there are lots of people that aren't going to actually want to go back to working in an office environment.
No, I think it's a great opportunity for companies to think outside the box and see whether they actually need to.
It might be great for the environment if people don't have to travel to work.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And I actually think people are more productive at home because you don't have those
Do you
corridor
think?
meetings and
By the water cooler.
yeah.
And you can get your washing put on in between meetings.
You can now. You've got a washing machine.
Oh yeah, have you got one now?
We've got it.
Amazing.
So excited. Yep. Unpack the car. Washing machine straight on. Perfect. Right. The other tip is don't trim as you go. Wait until you've done a few because you don't want to be trimming the ones too short. And I always trim but leave. I know I'm going to cut them off, but I do leave a bit still there.
Do you then use those the further down you go?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's why I've done the outers first after I'd reserved my, did the lining strips, saved my two for my handles, then I've used what you've got left basically, you just keep it going. And you fit them where you can, where you want to. And because they've come off that jelly roll, they're all going to mix and match really well.
You can do it however you want, yeah. No, Rona says she's Aberdeen way, and they've got orcas at the beach.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Not killer whales. That would be my excuse to never go in if I thought there were any kind of killer whales.
Yeah, I have to admit I am with you on that one. Yeah.
Natasha, could you please let me know what material and when you made it? The bag you had behind you on the 3rd of May, please.
That was yesterday.
3rd of May.
It would have been the Lisa
Yesterday.
Chandler one.
It was a Lisa Chandler one. Which bag did I have behind me? Oh gosh, I'll have to go and, because we pre-recorded that a little while ago, I'll have to go back and actually check.
Would it have been your one of the cork ones?
It might have been a cork bottom bag, cork base bag. I can't remember. Oh, Joanna says it's not great for young people though. My daughter is fed up of sitting in a room on her own every day. She's working from home. Yeah, that is the downside, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't do well on your own and you're not seeing anybody else at all, yeah, it's different if you then come away from work and you're in a house full of others. But if you're on your own working and you're on your own the rest of the time, it must be very soul destroying.
It's like homeschool mums. They always make sure their kids go into lots of different groups and stuff, don't they? So they do actually get to mix and do all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, we are a social species.
Allegedly.
Yeah, some of us more than others.
I don't know, now lockdown's lifted, I keep looking at it, it's a bit peoply out there. I'm not sure about this, it's a bit peoply.
I was terrified. I mean, I go out every day for a dog walk, as you know.
Yeah.
And that and the weekly shop is about the extent of my out of the house.
Goes to show that how small our lives can be and it be okay.
Yeah, but yeah, the thought of going out with a lot of people, I mean, that trial they're doing of the festival, terrifying.
The what?
Do you not hear about the trial in Liverpool? They've done a festival music festival over the weekend.
No.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the news because it's depressing. It'll fill me in.
Well, this was thoroughly scary. I mean, they've hosted this music festival.
Yeah.
With people who did a lateral flow to make sure they were testing negative.
Mm.
And then they've gone to this music festival that was all secured, and then they're going to monitor them to see how, if any, COVID is spread.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds, a great trial, but when they showed pictures of all these people, literally, as you do in festivals, sardine job.
Well, I mean, the mosh pit.
I was like,
oh no! No mosh pits
there's
ever
no
again.
Face masks, there's nothing. What are they doing? They're all going to be really poorly. And it's, you just have to get your head back round it, don't you?
Yeah, that it is okay to be near people.
And it's,
Oh, hang on. Margaret says orcas are killer whales. You see, people know this stuff. I'm not great on the older aquatics.
I should be, really.
There was also, hang on, yeah. Are you not some sort of
I should be.
scientist?
Yeah.
What sort of scientist?
Me, originally, I was an animal physiologist and biochemist.
Okay,
Reject
you really
vet
should know.
Is the
Reject
term we had
vet.
for the course.
Amazing.
Every single one of us had got a place at vet school, and we'd all missed out for various reasons.
Oh no.
So it was a very small course. It doesn't exist anymore. And the idea was you did the course and then you could go on to other
like
things.
A feeder into the
it
veterinary.
could have been, yeah. Obviously I didn't go down that route eventually, but yeah. But then you did, it was very intense, but it was fab. I enjoyed every single minute.
No walkers though, / killer whales. There was also a report this week of great white sharks getting close to the British Isles. Well,
yes,
they can.
I heard that as well.
Was that the same report? Do you think Margaret? They don't need to be here, do they?
Well, as long as they don't go up the Thames, it's fine, isn't it?
Oh, Myra. Okay, so it was the pink, teal, and cream combo, the fans. Right. So that is. So there are two different. There's the summertime tote and the Melba tote. They are the same dimensions, just different fabrics. So you just cut your fabrics differently. They are both on the website. So it's the summertime tote if it is the 3-stripe fabrics, and the Melba tote if it is the project panel that has been used in it. There we go. I hope that helps, Patricia. So that is on the website. It's a Lisa Chandler pattern. And if we don't have the fans currently, they will be in stock soon because I have got to... There we go. We've got the link just below for you.
Gemma's good, isn't she?
She's on it. She's on it.
She's not bad.
Oh, Lo now wants some Melba toast. Oh,
Melba toast. Gosh, that's a blast from the past.
Do they still make? Is that still a thing?
I would imagine so. We had mozzas the other day as well.
What's
I
a
haven't had those for
mozza?
years. Mozzas are those crackers that are they're really thin, almost taste burnt.
Yeah, you're not selling it at all.
No,
Thin
but
and
they're really-
burnt. I mean, I can do toast like that. It doesn't have to come out of a packet. I'm
They
really
can-
good at that.
They can. They're Jewish base. They were from the Jewish brigade initially. I'm trying to just mix and match.
No, I'm
things.
enjoying this mixing and matching.
But
what bagels? Again,
Yeah,
we
like
have
a bagel. So they've got. When you get to this bit, by the way, where you've got the bit cut out,
yeah.
you just lay. You can either lay individual pieces or just go straight over the top. But just make sure that it covers it.
All right.
Because you will cut away the excess anyway. Yeah, so it's something to do with the way they're made. So my
Burnt.
mum would know, but she won't be
Overcooked.
washing because she can't do technology. So she won't. When I said it's on YouTube, Mum and Facebook, she's like, sharp intake of breath. We don't do that,
blanks.
Suze.
Yeah.
No, I know, Mum.
Elizabeth says I can do toast like that just breathing on it. It's like 40 towers. Have you met my wife? Have you seen my wife making toast? That's it.
I used to like burnt toast. Don't now. Right, we're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. So even these scraps you can use eventually.
Perfect.
But I'm trying to save the longer bits. Oh, look, that's look, I've got an entire strip here.
Wow, look
What
at
is
you.
going
Was that one
on?
that you saved for a handle by accident?
No, they're over there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've put them out the way. That's the other thing is make sure you do put things
You don't
out.
get carried away.
Yeah, don't get too silly.
Although a scrappy
scrap is good.
would also be
Yeah.
fine.
See, that's why it is a good project, because literally you can use up any bits because you just join them together.
Perfect.
Sounds a bit like my cooking. If you run out of bits, just join other bits together.
I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. But
Although
we've got all of
sometimes
the
you have-
Moda things for you today, so you can take a look at all of those. It's all going on.
Awesome. The other thing that's good with the jelly rolls is often you get repeat, don't you? So you get two of one.
Yes, so you could do
design.
one each side.
You can. You don't always. Some of them you only get one of. In this one, for example, you only get one of this colourway. But it does mean if you wanted to make anything symmetrical, you can. Depends. I was hoping you were going to say you were impressed at the fact that I'm doing this very randomly, because you know what I'm normally like.
I am very impressed that you've done this very randomly.
'Cause I'm
I know it's taken a lot for you.
Which is why jelly rolls for me are like, it's not all going to work. So yeah,
And yet, I have to say, you loved the one that you made, didn't you?
I do. That's what I think is, so whoever decided to cut their strips and put them in a jelly roll, whoever that very first
Mr. Jelly.
Mr. Jelly had an absolute brainwave, because it does take the stress of colour matching away. If you are someone who struggles to colour match fabrics and put fabrics together, buying collections, be it any pre-cut, is a fabulous way to take that away, and means you can just concentrate on making a project.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's the important thing.
Of course it is.
And then worry about the stressful, what colour am I doing things on a project later on in life, when you've got that time to worry, or you've got a specific thing that you're trying to colour match. So even this tiny little bit at the end, look, I've got a little bit here I can use. And you do need to, I know it doesn't look as if it's going to matter, but it is going to matter. So do them. And then we have the exciting thing of trimming all these ends.
Oh, do you do that now?
Yeah, I do now. So we've done that one. I think I've got one more bit to sew on the other side. So you haven't got to watch me. You'll be relieved to know, everybody, you haven't got to watch me do the other one because I did do that one in advance. So let's see what I need to do on this. So here's one I made earlier.
Ah, beautifully made earlier.
And in fact, I can use scraps off this one. So I'm just going to hack this off for this piece here.
Oh, nice.
This is a good scrap raider as well. If you've got, I keep my scraps colour coded, of course, in a
Seriously?
basket. Yeah,
Okay.
in a basket in front of my cutting table.
I salute you. Never going to happen.
And so when I need little bits, I can just go to the right colour. Why are you looking
No,
at me
no,
like that,
I
Tash?
salute you. I love the fact I love that you do that. I'm not sure that could ever happen for me. I'd like to think maybe one day when I grow up, I'll manage that.
No, you're sensible. You've got a life. I just
Other lockdown chores.
yeah, I just struggle to not have it all organised.
But it probably means you're more efficient.
No, I don't know as it does. I spend a lot of time sorting stuff out.
I wonder if one cancels out the other, like the time that I spend looking for stuff and the time that you spend sorting it out.
Sorting it out, yeah.
You must end up with a bit of a twitch when you walk in here and stuff is not. It doesn't hang about long enough to get sorted. It's just like it's in, it's out,
to be fair,
it's gone.
it doesn't, does it? I mean,
Nope.
it's on such a rapid turnover.
But that's why we can keep bringing new stuff for you.
Absolutely, and that's what keeps everyone's interest as well, because it's. And don't you find that's why you don't use your stash as much? Because if you've got the same stuff you're staring at, you get disheartened and bored. It's the same with cooking, isn't it? If you're using the same recipes all the time, we all have our go-tos, but if you only have your go-tos, you lose an interest not only in cooking but in eating. Well, I do.
Do you know what? I did think that this morning. I was like, because I was cooking off, turns out the wrong sausages for the kids' dinner.
Oops.
I know. I didn't see that it had mustard seeds in them. They're not gonna. Yeah, I know. You and I are both like, oh, very nice. The kids will be like, the wrong sausages, Mummy. And I was just thinking, somebody will have done the maths as to how many meals that you have to cook in a lifetime. Because these children, they keep wanting to eat.
Yeah.
They keep doing it, Susie, every day.
Yeah.
They have 3 hot meals from me every day.
And it's madness, isn't it?
Total madness.
Where
They
does it
will
all
not
go?
have a sandwich.
Mind you, they are
Come on.
growing at a heck of a rate, aren't they?
So
And poor Freddie's going to be growing even quicker if he's going to be doing all this.
Wow, yeah. So at the park yesterday, we had to measure Emily to see if she could go on some of the rides.
Oh, yeah.
95 centimetres. She's 2 years old.
Gosh.
95 centimetres.
She's not going to be a short person, is
No. She is not. She is not.
No. Perhaps a career as a ballerina may not be up for her.
And yet she has the most beautiful arabesque. She really does.
Bless
She does something that she calls her scooter dance.
Scooter dance.
Yeah, and her scooter dance involves her basically scooting down the path and then just lifting her leg in the most beautiful arabesque as she goes along.
Oh, that's
it's
so
really
cute.
obviously she won't do it when I try and film it.
Oh, no.
No. She just manages to scoot off the path and crash, but she does do the most beautiful scooter dance.
Oh, bless her. So all I've done is trimmed round the edge of my outer to remove all those excess bits.
Excellent.
Just make sure that they are all sticking over the edge before you cut. So then it looks, look.
Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look good?
Good is that?
Oh, I
so
love
we'll
it.
do the same with the other one.
Which jelly roll was that one?
This is Songbook.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, Margaret says that her favourite pub has built beach huts in their garden. Open front, seat 6 with electric bar heaters and blankets. Brilliant. Council says they can't be used until May the 17th because of the short side that's open. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know. We saw a place, they've got individual little shacks, like sheds, but one side had a perspex front to it so that people could sit, and they were then enclosed in their own little sort of shed.
Now, what was I trying to do yesterday? Oh, I was trying to do something yesterday, which obviously meant that I ended up surfing for all sorts of weird and wonderful things on the internet. And I found like the big domes that a lot of these places are using, the perspex type domes.
Oh yes, yeah.
And there's a place in America that ships worldwide where you can pick them up for like 100 quid.
That's a bit good.
They're like inflatable igloos.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they?
Really cool.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? That is great. What I was looking for one was to get the ducks a new cover because...
Oh, that would be brilliant because then they could see the outside world.
Yeah. Well, they're outdoor ducks anyway, but you've got to keep them a little bit covered because of the old avian flu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, if you go to a festival, picnic in the park or something like that, take your own one of those.
Well, exactly. Or to the beach.
Yeah.
Mind you, if it was a really hot day.
It'd be a hot house.
Yeah. Welcome to my sauna. You may come in, it's beautiful.
Rent out the space.
I don't know what accent that is. I'm not very good at accents. Was it Gemma was trying to do an accent the other day? She's like, it's my Welsh accent. I'm like,
Which
sure?
particular part of Wales?
I think it was the Indian part of Wales. It did not sound terribly authentically Welsh.
Wouldn't get through the Welsh Tourist Board.
No.
Brilliant.
When I was at drama school, we had to learn our phonetic alphabet so that we could...
Yeah, elucidate properly.
Yeah, so if we needed to do an accent for theatre, we could rewrite the script in phonetically.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest, that was hell. That was my least favourite part of my acting course, to be fair.
Right, so this is where you realise that you didn't cut
Myra,
straight to start with.
You can. She says you can use them to look at the stars at night. Perfect.
That would be really cool.
Really beautiful, wouldn't it?
Really cool. I think, yeah, I'm like the idea of those. So what you need to make sure is that they are the same size. So now's the time to do any adjustments should you need to.
It happens. Do you know my top tip for using Styleville Fix?
Yeah, get a bigger table is mine.
My one is use a 60 mil rotary cutter.
Yes, that's what I've got.
It took me a while to cotton on as to why I would ever
fair,
need a 60-degree rotary cutter.
Yeah, you do need it. You can't.
But
do
it was
with
for this.
I use a 28 mil for my EPP because it goes around the curves more easily on small shapes. But I do use a 60 normally here, but I haven't brought it with me.
Oh. Yeah, Myra, they're using these pod things for glamping as well, so you can look out under the stars.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, as long as like you're remote and you're not just in a whole queue of people also doing the same. I don't know that I would want to bed down and then roll over and look into the next one into strangers.
No, that
also.
would be a little bit
That
weird.
would be a bit weird. That would be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, be a bit weird. It would. But I did wonder if I could get one to go onto the side of my awning for the camper van.
Yes. Why not?
Yeah.
That would be good. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do, are they the same that way? That's another one you need to check. Oh, do you know, they are. That's incredible. So they're ready to have a pocket put on.
Oh, nice.
Or front. So should we make our pockets?
Yeah,
So,
go on.
and the reason well, it's up to you which order you do it in, but having done that means that I know now if I need extra bits for my pocket lining, because you can line the pocket with your strips as well.
A jelly roll goes a very long way, doesn't it?
Oh, it's amazing what you can get out of a jelly roll. So the pocket is a bobbin, in effect. And if I bring the diagram over, this is from my sketchbook. I made this diagram.
Oh, there we go.
This one here. So rather than try and draw it again using whatever package was on my laptop, I just photographed my design book because it was a lot quicker.
I don't blame you.
Because I'm not good with technology, as you know. So that's what I did. And what we're trying to make is this. So it looks a bit like an old-fashioned thread bobbin.
Beautiful. Oh, do you know what? Lisa watched back our interview the other day and she said to me, she said, what are those wooden mushroom things on your dresser? And I said, they are old-fashioned, they're antique bobbins from factories that one of our beautiful viewers sent us. She was like, oh, how wonderful.
It is
and
good,
they truly are. So if anybody else has been looking, and so, yeah, it just reminded me of your design.
Yeah, they are. I love bobbins. I've got a few. So in the instructions, it tells you the different sizes you need. I've labelled the pieces for this. So rather than say the 6.5 inch yellow piece or whatever,
right, just
I've said
A, B, or
piece
C.
A, B, C, D, etc.
Sensible, like
because it's a lot quicker.
So this pattern, it's got a lot going on in there, hasn't it?
Yes, it's 8 pages. It's a big pattern. It's a busy pattern. And what I've done with it is you've got all the wording first, and then you've got your pictures at the back.
Nice.
So you can flip between the two. So hopefully it works. So with the bobbin, you're going to start in the middle and work out, basically. It's really easy and simple to put together. It's not tricky. And all the pieces are from your strip, so you're not subcutting or anything. So all you've got to do is decide which is your bobbin piece and which is your thread pieces, and then stitch them together accordingly. So you're going to do that centre piece.
Yeah.
So it's just right sides together, 1/4 inch strip, and you can chain piece if you want to.
Very nice.
So we'll do that. And the nice thing with these Moda jelly strips is you were saying about the pinked edges.
Yes.
These have got a very narrow pinked edge to them.
Oh, what with the Moda ones? Yeah.
Yeah, so you haven't got lots of piece excess that you get worried about. So pretty much if your machine foot is your 1/4 inch mark, then you're lining it up with that, which is great.
So that's not too bad a thing to do.
No, it isn't. So I'm just going to join that one onto there.
I do love a bit of chain piecing. It's very satisfying, isn't it?
It is actually. I mean, when you do the 12 strips, the long strips together, that's really good fun because you've got loads coming out the back.
When I first learned to sew, though, Susie, I couldn't sew. I used to work with jelly rolls a lot because I was terrified of cutting. So for me, a jelly roll was absolutely perfect, and I didn't really understand colour or quilting fabrics or how they should go together or anything like that. I really was very new to it all. So for me, jelly rolls were brilliant, and they've taught me a huge amount. Obviously, then I bought my stripology ruler, and then the world has been my, I was going to say stripping oyster, but that sounds horribly wrong. We're back to we're back to Elizabeth's home without the M, aren't we?
Just a little bit weird.
A little bit. So using the stripology ruler has been my absolute saving grace. Absolutely love it. And so that's been perfect for me to use up all my scraps and do all of that. They are back in stock, so if anybody wants to use up their own stash and get stripping at home in the safety of your own, in the the privacy of your own home / safety of your own home, whichever way round you want to look at it, then go for it.
But no, it is. The other thing to bear in mind is when even if you buy like a layer cake or a charm pack,
yes,
they
you get the whole
cut
collection
down as well.
Yeah.
And
yeah, of course.
So you know, if you don't buy the jelly roll, you can cut your 10-inch
4 2.5-inch strips.
Exactly.
Bosh, bosh,
so
bosh.
you just join them together, and in that way you can get instead of one strip being one fabric, you can get several on a roll, which is brilliant. So to do the slanty edges on the bobbin.
Amazing. How does that go? Can we have that?
Slanty
nice.
edges.
International symbol
for. This is quite a good one, isn't it?
I'm just waiting for where the planes will land, Susie. I'm not quite sure.
Well, it's all right. They've cleared the yard, so we're good.
Cleared the runway.
We're good. So we're going to do what they call snowballing the corners.
Yes.
Which, when I first was quilting and I saw this term bandied around, I thought, what on earth are they talking about? Snowballing.
Yes. Weird.
Still don't understand why it's called snowballing. But basically what we're doing is we're going to take a 2.5-inch square of the bobbin fabric, and the background fabric, I've cut 1.5-inch squares, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the reverse of these.
I guess because you go
pen.
from having a square to something that is round, and a snowball is round?
No idea.
That's as close as I can come, Susie. That's
right. Well, that's good enough for me. And then basically you're just going to put these on a corner, doesn't matter which one, as long
as you're not using a directional print.
As you're not using directional print, which actually I haven't yet. The only one I would say is the Christmas one will be directional because it's got wording on it. But the Pumpkin Blossoms Songbook and the Woodland Tilda, there's even, because of the way these strips are cut, even the one with the fox, unless you've got a bit with the fox in.
Yeah. It
doesn't matter really. And for this, does it really matter?
I think with the beautiful Janet Clare ones.
Yeah.
You might
the birds definitely,
because it's a small enough print that you will see the birds. I love the birds, and I am going to do so raggy quilts are my newfound favourite thing to do because they're so lovely and quick, and because they're big and you can you've just pressed the heel of the foot pedal, that's all.
Oh right, okay. Right, try again. There you go, we're off. So then you're going to sew on that diagonal line across the corner. So right sides together, and again you can chain piece, but you need to remember to turn them so they follow on. And actually chain piecing when you've got a little bit like this is quite a good thing to do because it stops some machines snag when they've got little
they'll
pieces.
put it in, won't they?
Yeah. So it's quite a good thing to get used to doing.
I then sew from that sewn line, I then sew another line 1/2 inch away and then cut down the middle, and then I have lots of little tiddly tiny little squares to use, 1/2 inch triangles to use.
Very good. Good fillers.
So yeah, I did a pattern called the snowball cushion, and with it you use all of your offcuts from the 4 snowballs.
Oh, that's good.
To then make a pouch, a matching pouch.
Oh, that's cool. So that's those done. And then what you do is you cut a 1/4 inch away. So you can either use your ruler to measure that and use a rotary cutter, or you can just wing it with a pair of scissors, whichever you choose. Yeah, wing it. And the only reason you're cutting that away is just to reduce bulk.
Okay.
There isn't any other reason. But these bits you can always save for stuffing.
Oh yes, I'm due to make another bolster cushion because I've filled up my bolster cushion with all of my stuffings.
Yeah.
It's been brilliant. It's been such a great way to get rid of all the tiny bits.
Yeah. It is good. And also it means that if you ever wash it, it's not going to clump as it's washed because it's fabric. And then what you do with these is press the back on itself.
Yeah, to make the full square again. Perfect.
And we don't get too hung up if they're not completely square, because
we
we're
do
going to
not
sew them together and then you can do your trimmings. But as long as they're pressed, that's the important thing. And of course, because we've used a fusion pen, that line disappears as we press. So it's good. So then you're going to take the two side pieces in the background fabric, or whatever it is you've chosen here, and I always lay everything out just to make sure I'm doing it correctly, because otherwise you'll end up in a pickle. But now what we're going to do is stitch these together across.
Right.
So again, we can chain piece if we want to. Let's go back to that one and we're good to go again.
Got someone from Ireland ringing me. I don't know anyone in Ireland to ring me.
I had a phone call from Missouri yesterday.
Did you? Was it the Missouri Star Company? Oh.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Shame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't answer it actually, but it wasn't their number. I did check.
Did you think you'd won a competition you didn't even know you'd entered?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was with Riley Blake, I met them.
Oh, did you?
At a festival, yeah. The Garden of Quilts that Riley Blake hosted in Salt Lake. Yeah, Jenny Doan, lovely lady. Well, the whole team are lovely. Yeah, spent a long time chatting with her. Really cool. Right, so they go on like that. So right sides together. And because we've pressed the seams in one direction, you haven't got to get too worried. Just make sure it lies flat as you go through. The bobbin bit is actually one of the quick bits to put together on this. Yeah, because you've cut all your pieces and you've only got to do one cut for each piece because it's already at 2.5 inches. The exception, of course, is the snowball.
Yeah.
So putting it together is quite quick. So my next project is going to be to make an entire quilt that is dedicated to sewing using the bobbin.
Oh, nice.
Thing.
Nice.
That would be really cool. So these I've pressed. Now this is a seam that it does make a difference which way you press. So I've pressed one going up one way and one the other, but it might be that you'll have to repress. And I can never, you can sit and work it out if you want, but I find it easier just to do that and then repress if I need to.
Okay.
It's not a big deal, it's only a little bit. And most of our irons are so efficient. Because what we're now going to do is join those onto the sides, and the only two seams you have to line up are these two here on either side. So it's not an onerous one, but to do that, if you can nestle your seams, and you'll see these are pressed the wrong way, so I can flip that one over and line those two up. And my trick for that is at home I work on a pressing mat that's padded. So I push the pin in through the two seams so I know those seams are lined up.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure. Because I have been known to unpick a seam because it is literally 1 millimetre out.
Really? You're that pedantic?
I am that horrific, yes. I am that
salute
sad person that clearly has too much time on their hands. But yeah, no, I forget what I was saying the other day.
I think it's just, it's whatever feels right for you.
Yeah, yeah. I've always been like that though. I will. I'm not. And I think
what's going to bug
yourself, yeah, what does your head in. Yeah, I was actually on a WhatsApp video call with my daughter at the same time, and she's a sewer. She's the one that's doing costume construction.
Oh yeah.
So obviously sewing and being precise is very important to her. And I did a seam and I showed it to her and I said, "Look, it's out." She said, "Mother, really? You're going to unpick that?"
Oh, she went with mother. No,
yeah.
that's
You know
you know you're in trouble
if
then.
she introduces the mother word, I need to change my attitude fairly rapidly. Bless her. Yeah. She was also the one that contacted us while we were away to say, "My sewing machine's broken."
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good if your career is dressmaking.
Exactly, and she's trying to finish her dissertation. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, it just gets worse and worse. Oh, bless her. So did she go and borrow yours?
No,
Oh.
She didn't. It was a rapid online purchase and delivery the next day, and an early 21st birthday present.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, bless her. So hopefully it's done the job for her. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a toughie,
it
isn't
just
it?
shows though how much we rely on it, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
And you don't tend to have spares lying around. But yeah.
I'm just going to stay quiet there.
Yes. Well,
no,
did
we
you
never
notice I
have
did
spares.
too? See, I did actually, one of the things I did say to her, well, if you care to just drive half an hour down the road, you can borrow my spare that's in somebody else's house. So with these seams, I'm going to press in one direction as well. Just press them out so they're flat. And we're getting there. Well, we've got a bobbin.
We've got a bobbin.
So we just need... So if you wanted a smaller pocket, you could stop here.
Okay, and what would we do if we just stopped there? Would we then just line it?
You create lining in the same way, but obviously a smaller size. But the reason I didn't stop here was because I didn't want the top and bottom of my bobbin to be 1/4 of an inch shorter, which is what would happen, obviously, if you
Oh, I
stopped
see.
here.
Yes.
Yeah? So I wanted the big pocket. Also, I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking, well, I would be stuffing rotary cutters and all sorts in the pockets. The pocket is big enough to put the smaller rulers like these ones in as well, because these get lost in amongst things, don't they?
Yes.
Your smaller creative grids. So I use the pockets to hold the smaller rulers. But it's I don't know about you, but when you design patterns and projects, I always feel quite pious saying, and you should do this and you should do that, because everybody has a use for things in different ways. So that's why I like to, as I'm showing people what I've created, say, well, actually, if you don't want to do this, you can do this instead, because it gives people ideas as well, but it also means that the pattern is adaptable. But there's no way I could write all that into a pattern without it being a 40-page document.
I mean, we all have a 40-page document, don't we?
Yeah, but do we ever read them? I mean, that's what you get with the manual with your sewing machine. And do we read those? No, of course we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I do. I do.
I
but
read
the thing
certain
is that
pages.
with especially with the Beast, with the NX7, it does so many things. I always keep it to hand, because it doesn't matter if I've read it, I will have forgotten how to do something. And, you know, it's pretty cool because it will prompt me to do certain stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, no,
my sewing machine manual is on by the side in a file.
File, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you can also, you forget the stitches you have as well. If you've got one with fancy stitches.
Oh, a fancy stitch.
Yeah, we like a fancy Nancy. Don't often use them, but we like a fancy Nancy.
Well, you've got an excuse here, haven't you?
Well, this is a great one for this because you can go to town. So this is the last piece of the front of the pocket, and I think, oh no, I haven't. I thought I'd just managed to unthread the machine, but I haven't.
There will be a digital version going up later for those of you that love a digital.
Yep.
That will be happening. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you want to create this, I think this is just such a great bag. Yes, it works for your creative grids, but like you say, also absolutely perfect for having as a big shopper.
Yep, absolutely.
Big shopper, and also when I make my one of these, I am going to do it with insulated wadding, so that it can be
a picnic one.
Yeah, either a picnic one or one for when I go and get my frozen bits.
Yeah, and then the pockets you can use to put in. I mean, if you're using it as a picnic, you can put in your cutlery.
Oh yeah, cutlery wraps.
Flatware,
yeah, absolutely.
And your napkins and whatever else.
Perfect.
Hand
We've
gel.
got
So
our
we have the
co-op
funds.
down the road has started stocking beautiful. You know those Cook ready-made frozen meals.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
are like homemade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always keep a few of those in the freezer for the days where I just don't know what to do.
Good plan.
And they are awesome. They're very, very tasty. So, yeah.
It's always good. I mean, that's why if I do a stew or anything in the slow cooker, or chili or that sort of thing, I do more than we need.
Yeah, and then freeze it for those days.
I've got a batch ready to go. Yeah. So the lining for the pockets, you can either use a piece that you've got lying around, or you can use up the strip cuttings from the rest of it, which is why I tend to leave the lining bits till last. So what I've done is sewn together what was left from the pocket pieces.
Oh right, yeah.
Just trying to.
So yes, I will be transporting my beautiful Cook home frozen meals home in my bag when I make one.
And we do forget when we're shopping, we take all those normal bags, don't we? And we forget that the fridge and freezer stuff really should be going in insulated, especially as the days are getting warmer, because it doesn't matter how, by the time you've gone round a supermarket with your trolley, gone through the tills, the food is defrosting all the time, so if you can put it in an insulated bag.
Well, Dawn just said,
helps.
can you use insulated wadding in any bag? And absolutely you
Yeah.
can. It's probably about the same rigidity as H640, I would say.
Yes.
So if you wanted it firmer, why don't you use heavyweight interfacing?
First, yeah.
We've got some new on the roll actually, heavier weight insulating, heavier weight. What's the word I want? Lining, not lining.
Interfacing.
Interfacing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the word I want. I've lost my words today. But again, you know, it's
the effect of me.
It's whatever you want it to be like, and so yeah, I would go with one layer of that will do a treat.
So
and also then it will fold up as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is always handy.
Yeah, I mean this will not fold very.
No.
Very
Styleville
flat,
Fix, which is
let's be
what we've got
honest.
here, is a really great one for maintaining that shape.
Yeah.
Completely.
It is, yeah.
Because you know waddings can be a bit confusing, can't they? But if you use H640, it'll maintain its shape but not as rigidly, and so it's a much softer finish.
It is. Yeah, it's amazing. You do need a variety of different pieces. So the lining pieces need to be 14.5 inches in width and length because you've made a 14.5 inch square. So I'm cutting these two in half because it just so happens that what you have left over happens to be 29
genius.
inches, which
Genius.
is just amazing.
Perfect.
So now I need to add bits to it. So this is where my extra bits from where I was stitching the outers together, I can bring those in as my liners.
Okay.
Just to give myself that extra that I need.
So Dawn, the other thing to bear in mind as well is that we have different makes of insulated wadding on our website. They are all pretty much the same, they just come from different companies, and that has only been because throughout lockdown it has at times been hard to source. So that's why we have a few different makes on there, but they all do the same thing. If you put in an insulated wadding, I think we've got an insulated Pellan on there as well. And basically what happened was I ordered from all sorts of places for a show, wondering which one would land first. And of course, none of them landed in time for the show, but they all came about 2 months afterwards, which was really handy. Uh-oh, I can see you thinking.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when I was doing this. I was thinking to myself, I don't remember attaching this many together, and then I realised that it's because when I did my lining of my pockets, rather than have them vertical like the lining of the bag, I had them horizontal.
Oh, that would do it.
The other reason for that is when you put your hand in, if they're vertical, you're not going to catch things. They're horizontal, you don't catch things. So there was method in my madness, but I was just, you have those moments when you have that sort of deja vu, but you think, hang on a minute.
Deja vu, but wonky.
Did I do this? Was this me?
What?
Or was it that weird person that appears to be me?
Are they voices in your head as well, Susie?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Oh, my absolute pleasure, Dawn. Anybody that has any kind of question, we will always try and answer. Absolutely. In fact, when we can't remember, I have a feeling it might have been Jan Hill who did stadium seats with Insulbright and those sorts of insulated things. So a stadium seat, because I didn't know what a stadium seat, being not a football fan. She's like, well, when it's cold and wet, you don't want to sit on a seat that
is cold and clammy.
Oh. So,
what a fab idea!
Yeah, so she just put a layer of the Insulbright in to allow
an
for.
Awesome idea.
Yeah, I could have done with some yesterday on a very wet and soggy teacup ride. Living the dream, Susie, on the teacups.
Oh, we went to one of the very famous pleasure park teacup rides, and yes, it was the only ride I could do with our little daughter at the time.
Well, when you have children of varying ages, the teacups are a safe option.
It was the only option in her case, and I think I did that ride, plus It's a Small World ride, 10 times in a row.
Amazing. Yep, got to be done.
I didn't feel sick on that occasion.
I've learned that you can actually spin the teacups one way and then spin them the other so that you don't feel sick.
Yeah.
This is my newfound thing that you can do.
I also discovered that you don't share a teacup with another family, because they are probably the family who do the spin, 90 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, no, not good if you've got someone small. Unless, of course, you have my Captain Small, in which case she just sits there going, faster, mummy, faster!
Yeah, no, fortunately mine didn't.
This is her newfound favourite thing. She's on the horse going, faster, mummy, faster! Like, no.
It's not.
Giddy up, horsey, giddy up. She's going, I'm like, oh no.
Bless her.
Oh, Freddie's such a cautious child, and his sister is not. She's more of the whirlwind variety.
She's let's live life to the full.
She certainly is, and it's generally faster.
Although she was I'm obviously a very scary person, because she hid behind Stephen this morning.
Oh, don't worry, Gemma's face made her cry the other day. I wouldn't worry about it. Gemma's scary, mummy. I mean, she was absolutely inconsolable.
Oh, bless her.
She'd been trying to climb up on a stool, and Gemma had gone to catch her. And obviously in trying to catch her, Gemma must have pulled some sort of face that
Yeah.
absolutely terrified the child. So Gemma just spent the rest of the day saying, I have a really scary face, don't I? I'm like, no, it was just the situation.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, I reckon we're about there. That'll do. Right, so that's that one. How many are we doing on this one? 5, we're nearly there. Oh, and look, I'm still using up scraps.
Anne says, well, we know who Captain Small gets it from. I don't know what
How
you mean.
rude.
I don't know what you mean. When she came wandering down the corridor with a sword in one hand and a kitten in the other, I was like, oh yeah. I might have bred that one.
Queen of the kitties.
That one might be me. In tidying up so that we can get the power plate out for Freddie, I did find all of my swords.
The swords?
All my swords, yeah.
Oh, fencing swords?
Yeah.
I just thought I'd qualify that for the audience who will come in late,
yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
They think you're a reenactment person or you've just got this
Although
bizarre
I would
collection.
love to do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Wouldn't it?
Before I got pregnant with Emily, I was going to go and work on my days off at Warwick Castle, doing the jousting and the swordsmanship, because there aren't that many women that can I'm a qualified fencing instructor, so I can.
We used to go to all those in reenactment days, and my second son used to spend the entire day quizzing the Fletcher and the swords maker who were, behind the scenes, to infinite detail as to how they were doing this, what they were doing, why they were doing
amazing.
it. So yeah, and when he came home, that's what he went in the garage to make. Scary stuff. But yeah, we used to love those days. I was the queen at one of them.
Oh, well done.
I was
Fantastic.
picked to be the queen.
Did you have your favours? Did you drop your handkerchief for your favour?
I did have that. And then the opposition knight, you know how their swords are genuine swords, but a lot of them have been blunted when they're doing this show.
Yes.
So this one clearly wasn't, because the next minute I know is a knight is in front of me with blood pouring out of his head.
Whoops.
And we're rapidly trying to pretend it's not happening for the audience.
No. Oh no.
So yeah, it was quite cool.
I remember working on, I was backstage. Was it The Tempest? It must have been. It was something like that. Anyway, Tom Mannion had quite an early on sword fight, and he got injured. There was blood, and we had to get him to hospital, which meant it was that everyone then had to move around. No, it wasn't The Tempest. The Tempest was another time. And so mid-show, they stopped the show. Tom Mannion gets carted off to hospital, and this is where I take my hat off to the actors. They all had to shuffle around.
Yeah.
As dressers, we had to get them out of that outfit into their understudy outfit and move them all around that way. The fun one was when one of the actors went down sick on The Tempest, and Caliban was hidden under the stage in full body makeup. We had to get him out from under the stage, wash him down because he was an understudy for somebody else. Right, move along.
Everybody up the chain.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to... When I was a bit naughty about learning all my understudy lines, but it just goes to show that you need to have them there.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to have them at your fingertips to go.
I used to know everybody's lines. When we used to have in our school, the houses had a competition each year, something called the Shakespeare Festival. And you didn't have to do a Shakespeare; it could just be any play. But I was usually the director.
Oh, so then you do know everyone's
So I knew
words.
everybody's lines, and they all used to say, "Well, why aren't you just going for the parts? Why don't you just do the parts?" It's like, because I don't want to be on stage.
Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, much prefer. So yeah, I used to do the stage management, props, directing, anything other than.
Oh.
But yeah.
Being
fun.
rather tall, I was many a time I was cast as Helena.
Yeah.
In Midsummer Night's Dream. And when I started teaching English, it was just one of those things. I've done it so many times, I pretty much know the whole play off by heart. So when I would get the kids to read their parts or whatever, you know, I would take one of the parts and just wander around the room and just interject with the lines, and the looks on their face were like, how is she doing that? How does she know it all? And it just used to make me smile a little bit, because it was just a bit of fun that you could have with them.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the era, so pre-GCSEs, sharp intake of breath, where you weren't allowed books in the exam either.
Oh, so you had to know it?
So you had to learn it. So we had 3 Shakespeares a year to do, and we had exams every year. So tough times. And you had 3 literary texts as well. Classics.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was
hard going, wasn't it?
It was. And poems. You had 8 poems a term you had to
goodness.
memorise. And they weren't just like little haikus.
No.
No. Oh, no.
That would be too easy, wouldn't it?
Far too simple.
As they whip out Ulysses or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. But now, of course, you can have your book in with you.
You
I know
can.
it's an unmarked copy, but you can still have the book there.
You've still got it. The thing is, you've still got to know where it is.
Oh, absolutely.
You've still got to know it inside out and back
It's
to
a
front.
different level, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're looking at different things. So, yeah, absolutely. But it's funny. I can't read Shakespeare now without trying to memorise it.
Oh, really?
It's like, right, I've got to learn this.
It is like another language. I mean, I worked for the Royal Shakespeare Company for years, and so I just understood the plays. I just understood it because I was around it all the time.
Yeah.
I worked a 9 to 5 job in production, and then I used to work the shows in the evening. So because I just loved it and I just wanted to be there all the time. And so you do. You do. Yeah. It's like if I went to France, I would actually be able to speak French rather than the dreadful version.
I do speak French, actually. To the dog.
To the dog.
And
I'm
German.
sure he loves it.
We have French Day, we have German Day, as we're on our walk.
And how does he find that?
Well, like he finds my English, really. He just looks at me and just thinks, yeah, right, I'll just do my own thing, thank you very much.
It's always good to feel listened to, isn't it?
Right, so I have made some linings from my excess. So we've got 2 the same.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not the same, but they're
same but different.
Same size.
Yeah.
Trimmed them up to be the same size as my pocket panel. So whatever size you end up doing your pocket panel, they want to be the same.
Okay.
And we're going to sew round 3 sides only. The top and the 2 sides. Leave the bottom unstitched. And the reason for that is because we're going to stitch that into the bottom of the bag.
Perfect.
So there is no reason to stitch it. But I'm just going to pin these. And you don't need to leave a turning gap. So for
so just round 3 sides.
you can
Perfect.
just going round 3 sides, which it makes it super quick.
Oh, Dawn never apologise for asking. She says, would I need a walking foot or can I use a normal foot?
I've used a normal foot for all of mine. I keep pressing the wrong bit of this pedal.
The chunky bit. Press the chunky bit at the top.
Yeah. It's because the
spun around.
pedal's walking and I'm not. There you go.
So yeah, you just need to put that down. There we go.
Right, we're good. It depends on your machine. I didn't have to, and I haven't had to with your machine. But if you're, you just have to see really. If any doubt, then use it. Is my advice. If you think it's going to need it, don't mess about and test it because you'll end up breaking your needle. But always stitch slower than you normally would, she says, going at 4 million miles an hour. but yeah, I mean, the more layers you have, then just give your machine a chance and stitch slower. Increase your stitch length.
Yeah, that's what I would say, especially when you construct the whole bag together.
Absolutely, then yes.
You know, then
and
you
if
are
you're
going to
top
want to do that.
stitching,
Yeah.
then I would, yeah. Or quilting even. If you, I mean, you can add extra quilting if you want to onto the outers. I haven't, because I felt that it was enough with the Quilt-as-you-go. So that's one of them done. So we do the same with the other.
Should we just do one looking at the time?
I will. So then what you're going to do is just do your clipping of corners. So that just means taking that dog ear off without touching the stitching. It's only a small bit, I know, but it makes a difference. Turn it through. So to speed up, I can talk through the most of it if you want, rather than do all the stitching.
It's like we've been in a time warp. I don't actually know
What is the time?
where. It's 12:30.
Oh my lord.
Right. Where did that time go?
Okay, so I will talk through construction. That's
Okay.
the easiest thing now, isn't it? So what you would do is roll out those hems, those seams, and press it flat. And this is where you can get to grips with your decorative stitching. You can do some stitch work on here. You can do your stitch work, top stitching across the top. I'm going to bring in the bag here and then you can see it in more detail. So I did a fancy Nancy across the top here, but don't, you're not going to attach to the bag. You need to do the top. If you want to do anything fancy on the top, do it at this stage, because you can't do it once it's on the bag.
Yes.
Otherwise you'll never get it in your hand in the pocket. So
it no longer becomes a pocket, does it?
No, it becomes a feature. So you're going, I've put one pocket on one of my outers and one on one of my linings. So you're going to find the midpoint of both your pocket just by folding it in half, finger pressing, and do the same for your outer piece. And
I like a good old-fashioned way to find the middle.
You can measure it if you like, but I think, you know, the old positioning is a good one. So then what you would do is stitch that into place. Now I did a double tram line, so I did 1/4 of an inch and then 1/4 after that, so a 1/2 inch. That makes it.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that is because this pocket for me takes a lot of battering.
Right.
And it just
because you're putting in goodness knows what.
So yeah, it means that when you've got your hand in there, you've got bits in there, it's not going to rip that seam. I also suggest that when you stitch it onto your piece, go beyond the top of the pocket.
It's a flash point for stress, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, you know, I always do that, and that's where I back stitch over as well, so it's doubly done.
My machine has an automatic locking stitch,
yeah.
So I use that, but I come across 2 or 3 stitches across the top, so it just gives it that bit of give. So you're going to do that on one outer and then on your lining. Now the lining piece, which we haven't yet cut, but I'm not going to cut because I can talk you through anyway, but you're going to cut your lining down into 2 pieces once you've pressed it, and those will be the same size as your outers.
So this is all in the instructions?
It is, every single bit is in the instructions, and you'll see that I've got excess of the lining, and that's why I don't cut it until I've made my outer piece.
Yes.
Because then you can make it. Now you have the option then to make this lining longer.
Right.
Higher, I should say, so you get this band when you put them together.
Right.
But if you don't want that, you want it to be flush, then make them the exact same size.
Okay, but you've got that wiggle room. If you are buying a 1/2 metre of complementary fabric to do this, then you won't have that. There's not that wiggle room.
But what you could do is sew excess strip on the side of it to give it that extra bit, so it complements the rest of it.
Yeah.
So you have got. There's always ways around it.
No, of course there are.
So you've got the options there as to how what you do with your lining. But one lining piece will also have a pocket on it if you want to make it reversible, or have a pocket inside. If you don't, then you can just put a zip in this and then you've got a bag. so you've got your 2 outers, so we'll imagine that we've got our pocket in place. So the bottom is still open with this pocket here. So I'll just leave it like that and get my other outer. So when you're stitching them together, you're going to put the right sides together and you're going to be stitching down the sides and across the bottom, and then that secures that pocket into place fully. Then what you're going to do is box the corners. Now you've already got them cut out, so when they're stitched, you can bring those seams together because they'll be, let me just
it's match the seam, isn't it? That's the way to go.
Now because you've got all this style fix there, matching those seams, I found it easier, rather than to open the seams, I found it easier to have one going one way and one the other.
Okay.
So if you imagine those are properly sewn, you've got a lot of bulk going on there. So if you push one way and one the other, when you bring them together, it's not going to lie perfectly because of the pins. You can then line this up.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep, yep.
And then you're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch. Now I double stitch.
Again, it's another area of pressure, isn't it?
Absolutely. And do make sure you come right to the edge. Don't sort of start half off the edge. Do go right to the edge when you're doing that. So you're going to box those corners, and you do exactly the same for the lining, except you leave a turning gap somewhere on the side.
Right, so my newfound revelation is I always used to go backwards and forwards at the start of and finish of my turning through.
Yeah,
I don't anymore, because I found that I was always mean about how much I needed, and then I used to rip my fabric.
Yeah.
So actually just
I
stop sewing,
Yeah.
and then start sewing, leave your gap, then start sewing again. And then if you do need a slightly larger one, then the stitches can pull apart without it ripping your fabric.
Yeah.
And I just needed to learn that for myself.
No, and with something like this where you've got Starville fix going on as well, or even Bosal, or you're insulated, it is so much more dense.
Yeah.
You cannot fit it through a 2-inch gap. So I wouldn't leave anything less than 6 inches as my turning gap for this.
Yeah.
Because it's just not worth the hassle.
No, for sure.
But yeah, do leave it on one side, and then when you come to put them together, I turn my outer, the handles, let me go through your handles first. The handles, it does explain it, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a strip and you're going to iron your Starville fix, so the adhesive side down, you're going to iron it all the way down one strip. This is if you want the full size, whatever size you do, this is how I did it.
Yeah.
You will notice you've got excess fabric at either end, and that is deliberate, because when you're stitching it, you don't necessarily want loads of Starville up in the seam. It's just, you're going to end up with far too much bulk, and your machine is going to say, forget it. So what I did for the handles is have it a bit longer. These are not 2 inches, 1/2 inch is plenty. And then you're going to place, so that's going to get ironed into place. So it's fixed, it's not going to move. You then place one of your other strips, whichever you've chosen, over the top. So right sides together, and you're going to sew 1/4 inch seam down both sides. And that will give you a tube which you turn inside out.
Nice.
Now, it's not one of those tubes you can use one of those turning tools for, because it's
too
too long.
Too thick, right.
And too thick. But it actually, if you just put your fingers underneath and pinch, you can pull it, and actually it turns through really quickly. And then when you've turned it through,
you could probably use a bodkin to help turn it.
You can at a certain point, but it depends on what size bodkin you've got. But my bodkin got to the point where it wasn't long enough. So
need a bigger bodkin, love.
I do. But they don't do a 40-inch bodkin. Strange that, isn't it? Can't think why. And then what I did was did some decorative stitching
Oh, it's so pretty.
just to hold it down. You don't have to do that. And you'll notice that one handle is different from the other.
I think that just shows variety.
It also shows that I did it at different times. But the reason for doing that top stitch isn't just to look pretty. It actually does give grip to a handle and keeps that wadding in place properly. And then the handles, I chose to put them, purely because it's easy, I chose to put them in line, an inch in from either pocket.
Right.
Or you can measure it with a ruler, or you can get, I think I just got my 6.5 inch ruler out, and then lined it up with the seam and placed them in. And I just pin them to the outer.
Right.
So the raw edges all align. And make sure your handle hasn't got a twist in it when you do it. And then my lining was still inside out, and I put the whole of the outer bit inside the lining.
Yeah.
And
so they're right sides together.
Right sides together. Handles tucked down with their raw edges sticking up. And then you line all your seams. So that's your side seams first that you're going to line up of your outer and your lining. Then I turn the bag that way, so the opposite way, so I can do the middle points, and then you just work your way around so it all fits together.
Perfect.
And then you just stitch around the top. And because I chose to have the lining longer, when I pressed it, just make sure you push down the lining, because then you get your point of reference.
Well, it's lovely, and it looks like you've bound it.
Yeah. It is
really
like
nice.
a faux bounding.
Yeah.
But that is an optional extra. And then, of course, top stitch it, or in this case, I stitched in the ditch.
Perfect.
All the way around, just to keep that binding. But doing that means that if I wanted to turn it inside out and have it the other way around, because I fancied a change, I can just grab it and do it. And then, of course, you must remember to zip up your turning gap, however you choose. I'm a hand sewer, but some people also, you can machine stitch it, do whatever you like, but don't forget to turn it and sew it. So if you want to turn it out, you can.
Brilliant. Oh, lovely.
So yeah, sorry we didn't get it finished. I will finish it.
We kind of did.
And then you'll see.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
It is just a really good size bag, designed for your rulers, but of course actually just a bag is multi-purpose. It's designed specifically for the rulers because of the size, to fit your strapology and everything else in safely and efficiently, and so that when you go off to workshops or anything like that, you can take them all with you. Holiday, absolutely. Or even if just storage is a premium, then you can store them all together. Then it's all good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I'm going to have to frisk you, aren't I, to make sure that you've not got all of my creative
well,
bits
I'll just go through the detector.
Yeah. Beep, beep.
Yeah. No, it's cool. But yeah, bags like this are so handy. And if you haven't got a massive workroom, storing your kit in bags, I think looks really pretty and gives you inspiration. But secondly, it stops the clutter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dawn said that she'd love the spool on a cushion front, but that's just it. Take Susie's design and then just make it into a cushion. This is the joy of it. Elizabeth says stitch a long piece of piping cord in one end and then start the turn with that. Put it out. That's always
you can do that one.
Yep. So yeah, lots of great tips. Thank you so much. I can always tell when there are lots of great tips from a demonstrator, because we don't get that many questions because you've answered them all.
Well,
so thank you very much.
No, thank you. And I hope people do make one for whatever they want to use it for, but if nothing else, to use their jelly roll.
I know. Come on, use those jelly rolls, use those pre-cuts. Enjoy the pre-cuts.
It's so cool.
I've tried to get a variety for everyone, so pick the ones that you love and enjoy and stroke, and then finally use them. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's so lovely. And yes, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We will see you.
Sorry it was so long.
No, don't be silly. It's thorough, isn't it? And that's the joy that we have. We don't,
Yeah, cut corners. It's good. I think it's good to see something going on live, because this is a project you can do in a day. definitely.
Nice, as shown,
Yeah.
as seen.
Yeah.
Perfect. Ginny says, beautiful bag. Thank you both. Our absolute pleasure. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. I was going to say stay home, but you don't have to anymore, do you? There we go.
Well, no.
No. Give us a wave. Look at you turning everything through
I
again.
know, it's
You
cool,
can't
isn't
decide
it?
which side.
It is good. I love bags that are reversible.
There aren't that many around,
All mine are.
apart from yours. Right, give us a wave, Susie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Have fun. Cool.